We're live from Phil Welch Stadium here in St. Joseph, Missouri, and you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I'm Jackson Phelps, joined next to me my partner Truman Griesel. And Truman, another Mink League matchup finds its way in Phil Welch. A short homestand, only 3 games this week, but the Mustangs, known as the St. Joseph Cardinals, tonight here on St. Joseph. Throwback night here at Phil Welch, come in at 15-2, 10-1 overall. Merchants at 6-10, coming off a 3-game series against Nevada, going 2-3 in their series, looking to come into Phil Welch and wreak some havoc.
Yeah, Mustangs, they continue to just win, come from behind fashion. Last night had to come down from 4 runs, but the offense continues to produce even when the pitching isn't as sharp as it normally is. But Carroll coming in, Carroll, they can pitch just as good as the Mustangs have. I mean, starting to play some balls, still sit at the bottom of the Mink League, but really where we'll see it tonight is can their bats show up. They only have a couple hitters hitting over 300. Really been a struggle for them to score runs so far this season.
It's going to be a tough place to do it. Bronco Witt on the mound will have his stats coming up after the pregame, but Mustangs yesterday, a 13-8 come from behind, some would say, victory in the later half of the game. Went down 4-0 in the second. Scored 3 in the second, and then 3 more in the third, and then 6 in the fourth. And after that, it was just game point for these Mustangs. And tonight, the Cardinals get a chance to come out. Really nice uniforms we get to see that'll be auctioned off at the end of the night. It's also Nintendo Switch giveaway night and a pennant giveaway night. So lots of stuff happening here at Phil Welch with another Mink League victory on the line here for these Mustangs, or some would say the Cardinals. And Truman, after last night's victory, we saw, a little hiccup from, the pitching at the start, but after that, the bullpen came in. And what do you think after last night's victory can be learned going into this game?
I mean, they still won, so, I mean, again, it just shows you how good the bullpen is, that even when the starter, Aaron Harrington, isn't as sharp as stuff, the offense is still able to produce, and they don't get phased here at home, and they just continue to play to their strengths. Getting walks, drawing walks, stealing bases, and just wreaking chaos on the base paths.
We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. We'll be right back with starting pitcher and lineups. You're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Back inside Phil Welch, and tonight's starting pitcher is going to be Bronco Witt, only making his 2nd start but his 6th appearance on the mound. Predominantly a bullpen guy, but got his first start this week against Nevada, where he picked up the W with 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits allowed, 2 strikeouts and no earned runs, so a really solid win from him against the Griffins. And he's looking to do the same thing here against another team that's in the bottom half of the Mink. And really, the Mustangs just looking to expand that starting pitching room with guys like Guck and Harrington. With a guy out of the bullpen that's just a guy they can rely on for a couple of innings.
Bronco Witt only made 1 start last season. He's not known for making starts, primarily coming out of the bullpen. But, I mean, he showed in Nevada that he can give this team a bulk of innings, and he can give them plenty to work for. And he'll be a tough task for Carroll here tonight. He's going to stay low in that zone, not going to necessarily blow it by you, but has the potential to strike you out. But he's going to complement a nice fastball that's pretty straight, but definitely effective with a nice breaking ball.
We'll get a quick look at the Carroll Merchants starting lineup. Gavin Gonzalez. It'll be Nolan Oliver, Sammy Harris, Fernando Espinal, Aiden Eggers, Martin Smith, Jacob Jeske, Jack Lutheran, and Kengri De Los Santos. For these Merchants, it'll be Gavin Gonzalez, the team's leading hitter. Just going to lead it off here. First pitch strike for Bronco Witt. Let's get that fastball's rolling start. Gonzalez out of Erskine College did not play this last spring after his redshirt freshman year. Back-to-back fastballs find the zone for strike 2, so 2 quick strikes for Bronco Witt out of Metropolitan Community College. Originally out of Gower, Missouri, and East Buchanan High School, just a suburb outside of St. Joe. And a quick 0-2 count to Gonzalez. Outside for ball 1. Gonzalez leads this team in batting average, hits, doubles, walks, RBIs, and slugging percentage. So definitely the Merchants' best bat on this squad. Swing and a miss, and a quick strikeout for Bronco Witt. Gets the night started. And Gonzalez was held 0 for 4 last time out against the Mustangs, and he gets fanned early here on Bronco Witt.
That was a nice sequence there from Witt. Again, he just went right after him. Wasn't scared to use that fastball. Again, stayed low in the zone. Gonzalez quickly goes down early.
Nolan Oliver here in the 2-hole for the Merchants. Off speed, that'll find the zone. Witt on a roll so far here in the top of the first. Another quick strike to start the AB. Oliver out of University of Colorado Springs. He batted .304 this last spring. Ball and a strike to Oliver. He's going to give a check, and he's going to go around. So another quick 2-strike count for Witt. Witt, a guy, like you mentioned, Truman, who just really likes to rely on that fastball. Want to see if he wants to go back to it here. Ball and 2 strikes to Oliver. And back-to-back strikeouts for Bronco Witt. 2 quick outs, 2 quick strikeouts. And Witt going through this top of the first on a roll so far.
Time he dropped in the breaking ball with 2 strikes right there. And again, being predominantly a reliever, I mean, Witt will ride that fastball, but when he needs to, he'll pull the string and place that breaking ball right where he wants to.
Back in the 3-hole, Sammy Harris finds himself with 2 quick outs. Outside just misses for Witt, and Witt using that off-speed and fastball to his advantage for 2 quick strikeouts to start his outing. 1-0 pitch upstairs. First time that Witt's gone down in a count with 2+ balls so far, so 2-0 to Harris. Finds himself out of University of Arkansas Little Rock. So that one finds inside the zone for strike 1. He batted .298 at Little Rock. So a solid bat last spring and this year so far with the Merchants. 2-1 delivery from Witt. Once again outside, and Harris works a nice 3-1 count on Witt. .3-1 delivery from Witt. It's going to be ripped over to first, and that's going to be gloved by George, and he's going to bring it over to first, and Bronco Witt goes 1, 2, 3 to start the first. And a good start for the Cardinals. No runs scored here in the top of the first. We're headed to the bottom of the first. Cardinals 0, Merchants 0 here on YouTube. Bronco Witt goes 1-2-3 in the top of the first for the Cardinals, and we'll get a quick look at tonight's Merchant starting pitcher. It'll be Aiden Dennis out of Washington University in St. Louis. Only had 1 innings pitched with Wash U, and so far this season, 7.2 innings pitched, has a 5.7 ERA. No wins, no losses for him. He's given up 6 hits and 5 earned runs, so looking to go attack at this Mustangs lineup that we're going to get a look at here. Leading it off tonight will be Truman Bodenhausen, Logan Miller in the 2, Braden Lukart, Dom Felix, Justin George, Chris Coy, Trevor McCollum, Easton Philippi, and Tyler Gundelfinger will round out this Cardinals lineup tonight. And it'll be Truman Bodenhausen to lead it off. If you're wondering why it's the Cardinals, well, before the Mustangs or the Saints, it was the St. Joseph Cardinals. They were from 1946 to 1951 and then 1953 out of the Western Association, and an affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, the MLB team. So a pretty cool story here out of St. Joe as Bodenhausen takes strike 1.
And Dennis going to be a guy, he's not going to strike you out. He's very much a pitch-to-contact pitcher. A lot of that contact has been on the ground. That's where he's had success. When he's able to have little weak ground balls to his infielders. That's where he's been at his best. It's when teams have skied it in the air or hit line drives where he's gotten in trouble.
And that one is skied into the air, but coming in to make the play out of left field is going to be Eggers. And a quick first out on Bodenhausen, and that'll bring up Logan Miller. And Miller now riding a 10-game hit streak, looking to continue his dominant bat with the Mustangs. And in a Cardinals uniform, trying to get to 11. And a nice season that he's had so far, the kid out of Minnesota State Mankato. Batted .328 up in Minnesota this last year. So he takes strike 1 on the inside half.
Miller is one of the catalysts for this offense. He picked up 4 RBIs last night, but he's really just been the guy that's got on base and sparked the rallies. Has been more the flint and steel than the flame.
Ball 1 in the dirt, and only 1 hit yesterday, but a big one. This is a 3 RBI single back in the second, was a hit by pitch RBI yesterday. So a nice outing. 1 swing of the bat is all it took for him to open up more RBIs for his campaign. It's a ball and a strike to Miller. Slider misses outside for ball 2. Miller, a native out of St. Joe. First summer played here with the Mustangs. 2 balls and a strike. Down low, and Miller works a quick 3-ball, 1-strike count here on Dennis.
Dennis also a guy that relies heavily on that breaking ball. That's really one of the reasons why he induces so much light contact. Batter's just out in front of it. He goes more breaking ball, but then uses the fastball as his backup.
Inside, and Miller's going to work the 5-pitch walk down to first. Only the 4th walk issued by Dennis this season. And Miller, a speedy guy to have on first, is exactly what the Cardinals are going to want to have as Braden Lukart coming to the plate. 0 for 4 last night, but did draw a walk. Looking to get back into the productiveness so far here in this season. First pitch from Dennis. Runs inside, and that is going to hit Lukart. First pitch of his at-bat, he sees first base, and now Miller and Lukart on first and second. And Lucart's still looking for that first hit since June 16th at Nevada. But that'll bring up Dom Felix. Felix 1 for 5 yesterday with a run. In a good spot here with just 1 out for the Cardinals. First pitch to Felix is going off speed, and he's going to foul it off up high for strike 1. Felix plays his ball out of Emporia State University. In the MIAA, he batted .290 this last spring with 6 home runs. So a guy you can definitely rely on with the bat here in this type of situation. 0-1 pitch to Felix. Broken bat. It's going to be gloved by Dennis. He'll go over to 2 for the first, and in time for the double play, and a nice play made by Dennis, as it is a 1-6-3 double play. And we're headed to the second inning. No runs, 2 left on base for the Cardinals. We're still scoreless. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on YouTube. Still no hits, still no runs for either of these squads, and we're still notched up at 0-0 here in the second. Witt's first batter he's going to have to face here in the second inning is going to be Fernando Espinal out of the New College of Florida. Could not find any stats from him this last spring, but did play at Lenore Rhine the spring before that, batted .333. Espinal looking to do some damage here on Witt. First pitch outside, misses for ball 1. With this last season at MCC, posted an 8.31 ERA, 16 appearances, a 1-0 win-loss record on 38 hits and 28 earned runs, 36 Ks. And that's going to be lined over to Coy. That's going to get in center field for a base hit. First one of this ball game, and it comes off the bat of Fernando Espinal.
That was a good swing right there from Espinal. Pitch was on the outer half of the plate. He was able to get just enough barrel on it. Line it right back up the middle. Coy, a little bit of a hesitation trying to go to. I mean, that sun at this point in the day is just so tough to deal with. Just think maybe he'd been able to get a better jump on it. Might have been able to lay out and potentially nab Espinal.
Espinal has healthy lead at first. Swinging and missing on the first pitch is Aiden Eggers at Highland Community College, and he is headed over to William Penn University this upcoming spring. A 1 pitch from Witt. Swing and a miss, back-to-back. Fans from Witt, and he's got Eggers down 0-2 with 1 out.
This is really where Witt's at his best, when he could just get ahead of hitters and dictate the pace and have the hitters guessing at the plate. Have all his pitches in his bag, ready for his use.
0-2 pitch fouled off, keeping this at-bat alive for Eggers. Eggers at Highland Community College posted a .278 batting average. So a lot of these merchants in their spring seasons have had good, healthy batting seasons. Looking to contribute to that here in the Mink. 0-2 pitch, Espinal's going off. The throw down from Philippi is not in time. That's going to get into the outfield, but Espinal's going to stay put. But a strikeout for Witt. That'll be his 3rd K here on the game. But Espinal does move up on the stolen base.
That was one of those, just a tough throw there from Philippi, because Eggers right there was lunging across the plate. I mean, maybe he could have gotten an interference call, but that throw just sailed on Philippi. He wasn't able to follow through all the way, had to let it go early. It tailed toward the first base side of second.
Martin Smith now batting for the Merchants as he fouls off the first pitch from Witt. at a Des Moines area community college, and he's out of Boone, Iowa. This last spring, only batted 175. He's looking to have a turnaround summer this summer at Carroll. 0-1, a runner in scoring position for the Merchants early on here in the top of the second. 0-1 delivery, and that is going to be skied into left field. McCollum giving chase into the sun. He makes the catch for the second out, and Espinal stays put at second. So now 2 outs, and Witt looking to leave one stranded in scoring position.
Great read right there by McCollum. Again, that sun is so tough, but his first step was back. Was able to shield his eyes from the sun and just keep his eye on the ball.
Up next, it'll be Jacob Jeske, the catcher. He's from Iowa Central Community College. Did not play. It was his redshirt freshman season this last spring. First pitch from Witt. Swung on inside and fouled off. Witt finished up his second year at Metropolitan Community College, and he's taken his talents to Northwest Missouri State. A future Bearcat staying close to home. Will take his talents up to a stacked pitching staff up in Maryville, Missouri. 0-1 pitch to Jeske. That's going to be chopped up, and Phillippe's going to make the play at the plate in time to first. And Witt leaves one stranded at second. A clutch third out there. Only one hit allowed. Still no runs in this ball game. We're headed to the bottom of the second. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on YouTube. Still no runs for both of these squads. We're back at Phil Welch. Game tied up at 0-0. We're here at the bottom of the second. Fernando Espinal gets the first base hit for either of these squads. And the Cardinals here looking to replicate that with Justin George leading it off the inning. And George, as dominant as they've been in the last 3 games, 4 for 10 with 3 RBIs and 5 runs. Really had himself, he's always had a guy with a bat, but hasn't always worked out for him this season. Just looking to get some nice barrels here in tonight's game. At a William Jewell College in Liberty, Missouri, batted .352 with 8 home runs this last spring for the William Jewell Cardinals. As he takes ball 1 downstairs from Dennis. George got the night off last night. Was 2 for 4 against the Nemo Naturals with 3 runs and a walk. He's going to give a look to it, and he will go across the plate for strike 1. So it'll be a ball and a strike for Justin George. Dennis, a solid inning back in the first, aside from the hit by pitch and walk. Got the double play to end it. 1-1 pitch is fanned and waved at from George. Now finds himself in a 2-strike count to Dennis.
why Dennis is so tough with that mainly breaking ball stuff. It looks like a fastball out of the hand and then just drops off. You saw George not wanting to go around the pitch before and then swings right through another one.
1-2 pitch downstairs, and count evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As George usually has a good eye. Did get struck out against the Naturals twice in the 3rd and the 4th. Back on Thursday night. 2-2 pitch. And a good take there from George as he works a full count. Almost close to the zone.
Mustangs are just so tough to retire with 2 strikes because their zone expands and they get a better sense for the strike zone.
3-2 pitch is ripped into the outfield in the left center gap, giving chase. Eggers in left. He calls off Smith in center. In the first out via the flyout, sends George back to the dugout. And it'll bring Chris Coy up to bat. Coy out of Benton High School takes in his talents to the University of Nebraska, Omaha. And Coy last night, 1 for 3 with a run on 2 walks and a stolen base, has definitely had himself a really nice season so far here for the Mustangs.
Actually got to face Coy back in March of 24. Benton made the trip down to Springfield.
Oh.
Pitched a complete game shutout in a 1-0 victory. He also drove in the only run with a sac fly. Found that out last night. I was talking to him after the game, yeah.
That's
Didn't
awesome.
strike me out, but I did go 0 for 3. So,
hey, well, that's,
and I have those 3 at-bats on video, so.
I love it. That's a cool little
One
story.
of those connections that you're able to make, and now seeing Coy here getting ready to play college ball.
It is really cool seeing some of these high school seniors here at Phil Welch. Minds like Chris Coy, Philippi, who's going to be having an appearance here in tonight's game, and Ashton Nance a couple nights ago got himself on the mound. Young talent here is blooming. It's Coy in a 1-1 count. He's going to put a swing and a pop fly into shallow center field. Oliver looking up into the sun. He makes the catch, and a tough play made by Nolan Oliver sends Coy down to the dugout. Back-to-back pop-outs for the Mustangs. And it'll bring up Trevor McCollum. Last night, player of the game, 3 for 5 on 3 runs and 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. A dominant outing last night, Truman.
Definitely was indeed, and again, he scored 13 runs. McCollum, especially this bottom of the order in general, was a catalyst for that. Only was retired once combined between the 7, 8, 9 hitters. They found ways to get on base, and they allowed the lineup to flip over the top. But as for Coy, I mean, Sun almost ate up Oliver in that pitch. I mean, breaking ball inside, and especially to those righties, your really only chance to barrel it is out in front, and that time he just let it get too deep, and that's why he got jammed a little bit and was only able to pop it up into right center.
Ball lined over to third. De Los Santos has a tough time fielding it, and McCollum's going to be safe, and he'll reach on the E5. And the speed from McCollum gets the Cardinals their first base runner on the night.
Sometimes luck just favors you, as that was another ground ball that Dennis was able to get. But it just ate De Los Santos up right there. He did try to pick it up with a bare hand and made a quick recovery, but McCollum, one of the speedier guys on this team, always hustles things out, and it was a great job right there.
It'll find Easton Philippi up next for the Cards. Upstairs for ball 1, another senior coming out of high school. He'll take his talents to Wichita State. Fairly new here to the Mustangs. Tonight trying to do some damage for the Cardinals as McCollum 2 stolen bases last night. We'll have to see if he wants to go with 2 outs. He's going to get picked back quickly. Nothing doing. Looking to wreak chaos once again on the base paths of these Cardinals. Trying to put themselves in good positions once again. That's how we saw a surplus of runs last night. 1-0 pitch. There goes McCollum and swinging into left field. That one's putting Trace down the line. Making the nice play is Eggers, and that'll end the inning on 3 pop flies for the Cardinals. They leave 1 on base, but still tied at 0, and we're headed to the 3rd inning of play. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on YouTube. Still tied at 0 apiece here at Phil Welch, and we're going to get a quick look at the Mustangs or Cardinals defensive lineup tonight. In the outfield, Braden Lukehart in right, Logan Miller in center, Trevor McCollum in left. In the infield, Justin George at first, Truman Bodenhausen at second, Chris Coy manning shortstop once again, Tyler Gundelfinger back at third, Felix your designated hitter, and behind the dish tonight, Easton Philippi catching Bronco Witt here in his third inning of work. A solid one, no earned runs yet. Only one hit allowed. He's really working on these Merchant hitters.
He's picking up right where he left off in Nevada and really showing that he's not just a one-inning relief pitcher, and he can give the Cardinals some innings, and he's continued to do that tonight, just keeping these Merchant hitters off balance. He's shown he's been able to pitch with runners on. He's also been able to show he's been able to get strikeouts.
Ball one taken upstairs by Jack Lutheran, leading it off here in the third. Also out of Erskine College, alongside his partner Gavin Gonzalez on this team. He also did not play in his freshman year. He's fouled off, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. With that fastball so hard to catch up to. These Merchant hitters quickly realizing that. 1-1 pitch to Lutheran is going to be fouled off once again, straight behind. Lutheran only batting 107 so far this year, just 3 hits on 28 at-bats. So looking to get that bat going a little bit more hot as we head into almost the month of July. 1-2 pitch, a quick step from Witt, and he gets Lutheran to fan on the K, and that'll be strikeout number 4 for Bronco Witt.
Great pitch right there. Again, showing a little tempo, mixing it up. Again, keeping these hitters on the toes. Levitt going to the quick pitch. Breaking ball outside, gets the hitter thinking maybe it's a fastball instead. Pulls the breaking ball. No chance.
It'll be Kangri De Los Santos batting in the 9-hole tonight. He's going to foul off the first pitch. A fun story about Kangri De Los Santos out of Azua, Dominican Republic. Signed to the Miami Marlins minor league contract back in May of 2022. He was released in June of 2023 after playing 21 games in the Marlins farm system, where he batted .206 on 5 RBIs and 13 hits. So it's getting to see some professional play here in the Mink. Got a professional player, but finds his talents here in Carroll this summer. So he's going to line it right back to Witt, and he gloves it. He's going to toss it over to George in time for the second out, and Witt, yet another 2 quick outs to start.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes? Again, off the end of the bat, easy one for Witt. He fields it, and then he doesn't try to throw it immediately from the mound. Again, for those youngins watching at home, great job. He runs it over and tosses it to George. Underhand toss. Well executed there from Witt.
Bring up Gavin Gonzalez. Gonzalez held to 1-10 in his series against Nevada with 6 strikeouts. Last multi-hit game was back on June 16th. So dominant hitting season so far for him as he takes ball 1, and he's just looking to get back on track. Like I mentioned, was also held 0 for 4 against the Mustangs back on the 13th. So definitely not the place you want to try to get hot, especially with how Witt's been rolling. So that one misses. So quickly 2 balls and no strikes to Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, I mean, you'll go through streaks as a hitter. He's definitely not someone you want to leave a cookie over the plate for.
Fouls it off. That fastball so tough to catch up to once again. 2 balls and a strike. Gavin Gonzalez, like I mentioned, Erskine College. He's originally out of Orlando, Florida. So again, these Merchant hitters coming from everywhere across the United States and the globe. 2-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Just misses the zone. Count's now 3-1. Just the outer globe opens up. Head coach Josiris Martinez for these Merchants is out of the Dominican Republic as well. 3-1, and Gonzalez gets walked on the 5-pitch walk. And a quick 2-out base runner here for the Merchants.
And Witt just lost the zone a little bit, made some good pitches that just missed. I mean, if you're missing just by a couple inches, you can just bring those back in a little bit.
Brings up Nolan Oliver, struck out back in the first on his first at-bat. He's got 2 outs on the board. Gonzalez on first. First pitch swinging, and it fouls off straight behind for strike 1. Oliver out of the University of Colorado Colorado Springs and Bentonville, Arkansas, so not too far away. Staying in the Midwest to play summer ball. 0-1 pitch, runs inside. Almost clips the jersey. Ball and a strike here to Oliver. Oliver had to make a tough play last inning in the sun. Chris Coy pop-up. 1-1 pitch misses outside, so another 2-ball, 1 strike from Bronco Witt. Try not to lose back-to-back batters via the walk. Just looking to throw some strikes. Go back to that fastball if you got to. 2-1, catches the outside half of the plate for strike 2, and now 2-2 to Oliver with 2 outs.
Great breaking ball right there. I mean, sometimes you don't necessarily have your fastball location, but it's always nice when you have more than one tool in your toolbox, and they're all in pristine condition.
Outside, Witt misses. We are full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nolan Oliver looking for yet another walk for the Merchants to get something going. 2 outs on the board. Witt trying to leave one stranded. 3-2 pitches swung on and fouled off on the right field side near the clubhouse. And we remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oliver so far batting .222 on 45 at-bats and 10 hits. Just 3 RBIs on the season. Count is full for Oliver. 2 outs. 3-2 pitch upstairs and back-to-back walks issued by Witt. And a runner in scoring position late here in the inning for the Merchants.
Just getting guys second time through the order, making adjustments. They say it's always good high school batters make adjustments game to game. Good college hitters can make adjustments at bat to at bat. Then good professional hitters can make adjustments pitch to pitch. And, you know, seeing first at bat, second at bat, it's guys at the top of the lineup, recognizing Witt, making adjustments.
Outside misses for ball 1 on Sammy Harris out of Little Rock. Grounded out to Justin George at first. And the game of baseball, like you mentioned, it's just all about making adjustments, small or big. And if you can make those adjustments fast, I mean, you're going to see improvements on all areas of your game. 1-0 pitch is fouled off sharply on the third base side and evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Witt doing a good job keeping it more on that outside half of the plate for both sides of these batters. Hasn't gone inside too much. The ball and a strike to Harris. 1-1 pitch fouled off, and that'll hit our roof. So now 2 strike count here for Harris. Witt trying to leave 2 on the base paths. Trying to keep this game notched up at 0. Just 1 hit so far in the ball game. Both runners issued via a walk here in the top of the 3rd. 1-2 pitch upstairs, misses for ball 2. Harris doing a good job working his way back in this at-bat. The 2-2 pitch from Witt. Misses outside, and once again, we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Witt trying to avoid the back-to-back walks here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd.
Just got to make that small adjustment. Just missing arm side a little bit. Bring it back in.
3-2 pitches taken outside. And the 3rd straight walk has the bases loaded for Witt as he gives a pat on the chest. As Phillippe's going to go up and give a talk to his pitcher. And now the bases are loaded for the Merchants. And the only hit so far in this game comes off the man who's at the plate now, Fernando Espinal, in another big spot to put the ball in play.
And with these last 3 at-bats, again, just where he's been missing now, it's been a little bit uncompetitive. He's been missing a lot to that arm side. That fastball's been running a little bit more. Just needs to finish more, finish over that front shoulder. Get more in on that outside corner. I like where he's trying to place those pitches. The ball's just running away from him.
Espinal currently batting .217, 10 hits, so you can make that 11 on the season after his last, and he'll foul it off on the first pitch. Witt, a guy who really doesn't lose too often in these types of situations. Predominantly a clutch pitcher like we've been mentioning out of the bullpen. He's got to kind of reel back that trade of coming into a juice situation. Has a strike on Espinal. He's got a deep drive put in the center field. Miller giving chase into the sun. That one is high. That one is one-hopping the wall. Incoming to score Gonzalez. Incoming to score Oliver, and rounding all the way from first to third is Harris. And a stand-up triple, 3 RBIs is Fernando Espinal in his second hit of the night. And the Merchants blow open the gates, and they lead it 3-0 off the triple.
Yeah, just too good of a pitch right there from Witt, a great hitter in Espinal, recognizing that Witt's been laboring and really jumping on a pitch and just left it too much over that heart of the plate. And honestly, he's really just lucky that that ball didn't leave and was a grand slam.
It had the type of trajectory for that, just one-hopping the wall out in center field, a deep outfield in center field here at Phil Welch, and Espinal really put it out there. Any other spot in this yard, if he would have pulled it a little bit earlier, that thing is gone, but a nice swing from him unloads the bases. Strike one taken from Aiden Eggers, looking to bring home Espinal for the 4th run. Second pitch fouled off. No balls and 2 strike. Here to Eggers. The best appearance so far this inning Witt has put on Eggers. Just trying to get out of the inning after giving up the 3-run triple. Trying to leave Espinal over at third is the only job Witt's got to give himself. Oh-2 pitch, and that is going to be lined into center field and in to score. Espinal for the 4th run of the ball game, and an RBI single off the bat of Aiden Eggers continues the scoring surge here in the 3rd for the Merchants.
Again, just too good of an 0-2 pitch right there. Too much of the plate. Really starting to lose himself out there as Witt in just a complete 180 from how the first 2 2/3 of this game started.
Finding the inside zone on Martin Smith. Looking like yesterday, except back in the 3rd. Yesterday, Mustangs were still in the ball game. The first 2 innings for the Mustangs kind of looked like this, as off going to second is Eggers, and that ball thrown by Philippi off the glove. It'll go into center field, but Coy did a nice job running back there to get it. But Eggers advances on the stolen base. And that's the 2nd time Philippi's tried to catch a runner going, and the 2nd time the Merchants have been successful.
Just short-armed the throw right there. If that throw had been on line, Eggers would have been out by a few steps, but that ball just short hops Coy Bodenhausen out there, and it's just so hard for a middle infielder to have to scoop a ball in a short hop to make a tag.
1-1 pitch misses outside. 2 balls and a strike here on Smith. Another runner in scoring position for the Merchants, continuing to look lethal here for the Cardinals. 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled off by Smith. So another 2-strike count here for Witt. Looking for strikeout number 5, and to leave at least 1 on the base paths for the Merchants. The 2-2 pitch from Witt. That's going to be lined, and that's going to get over the glove of Bodenhausen and into right field, rounding third, coming in to score Eggers for the 5th run of the game and the 5th run of this top of the 3rd in an RBI single, back-to-back RBI singles. And this one's off the bat of Martin Smith.
And just too good of a 2-strike pitch right there. And then Bodenhausen, I mean, he just didn't see that ball. That ball was not hit terribly high, and Bodenhausen just couldn't see it and couldn't make any attempt to jump up and snag that one.
Coming in for just a mound visit. Coach Max just wanting to go out there and talk to Bronco and ask himself, hey, how can we get you out of this inning? 2 outs still on the board for the Cardinals. 5 unanswered here in the third. No movement coming out of the pen, and Witch is trying to get himself out of here. In a type of game that we've seen, Truman kind of looked like shades of yesterday's first 2 innings, where the starting pitchers just kind of losing themselves early on here in this game, and it's just definitely not something you really want to see.
I mean, walks will hurt you in 3 straight of them with 2 outs. I mean, all of this has come with 2 outs, and it's not what Witt wanted.
That'll bring up Jacob Jeske. Jeske just put the ball on the ground. Philippi made a nice play to first to end the inning back in the second. Martin Smith on first after the single inside taken for ball 1. Jeske coming out of his redshirt freshman year at Iowa Central Community College. And Jeske so far batting .211, just 19 at-bats. 4 hits, and there goes Smith. Philippi down to second, is not in time, out of the glove of Bodenhausen. And once again goes into center field, and another stolen base here will put another runner in scoring position for the Merchants.
It was a better throw that time from Philippi, but again, that sun is just right there at second base. So again, Bodenhausen just didn't see it. Wasn't able to grab and make the tag.
Smith in scoring position. Jeske trying to bring him home. A ball and a strike for Bronco Witt. 1-1 pitch is swung on and put it into the right center field gap. That is going to get down. Smith will score easily. Jeske on his horse for second. The throw is not in time, and Jeske with an RBI double. And the 4th straight RBI hit here for the Merchants opens the score 6-0.
Just another good swing by a Merchant hitter inside out by Jeske. And really, Witt just needs to find anything. I mean, don't know what's happened to him out there on the mound. Don't know if they're picking his signs, if he's, tipping his pitches, but just continuing to not able to execute right there, and it's costing him.
Ball 1 taken outside by Jack Lutheran. Lutheran led off this inning, so the Merchants have officially batted around here in the third. And there's no sign of stoppage. It's Jeske on second, another runner in scoring position for the Merchants. Just misses the zone once again on the outside half for ball 2. So quickly 2 balls and no strikes to Lutheran. And Witt, like you mentioned, just kind of losing beside himself. It just doesn't look like the Bronco Witt we see, who just really mans that zone with his fastballs. He wants to try and paint him outside, as that off-speed will find the zone for strike 1. Still 2 outs here for the Cardinals. 6 runs on 5 hits. 4 hits coming out here in the third. A nice off-speed, just misses once again, and 3 balls and a strike to Lutheran. Trying to avoid the 4th walk of the inning is Witt. Three balls and a strike. Called strike 2, and Lutheran was already tossing the bat and walking to first. But a nice find in the top half of the zone. Witt keeps Lutheran with a full count.
I think he had a case right there. I mean, again, Witt's been very erratic in this inning. That may as well test your luck and see if that is ball 4 and trying to influence the umpire.
Full count from Witt. Called strike 3. And Witt finds his 5th strikeout and gets out of it with a runner in scoring position, but not before 6 runs are put on the board by the Merchants as we're headed to the bottom of the third inning. The Mustangs trying to wake up the bats in response. But the Cardinals down 6-0, headed to the bottom of the third. Back live here at Phil Welch Stadium. The Mustangs, known as the Cardinals tonight, go down 6-0 in the top of the third. And Truman, just another one of these unlikely innings that we've seen from yesterday's first two, now here in the third from this Mustangs team. Just looks a little beside them, and something that we just haven't seen all season long.
I mean, the Merchants took a bit of a page out of the Mustangs playbook. I mean, it started with 3 walks, and it was just run-scoring hits. So, I mean, the Mustangs, still very early. They just got to find within themselves, just get a few base runners on, tack some things together, and get Dennis laboring and really get the pressure put on him.
He'll be met by Tyler Gundelfinger as that pitch runs really inside for ball 1. Gundelfinger back on the 13th, hit the second home run on the Mustang season against this Carroll Merchants team. Right now, that would be a huge spot here. Once again, inside, misses for ball 2. So quick 2-0 count. Gundelfinger, the Hutchinson Community College, batted .250, 21 RBIs from him last spring. Took the night off yesterday. Strike 1 called on nice breaking pitch. It's 2 balls and a strike to Gundelfinger. Back at third base tonight. Dennis looking for another quick inning so far in his first 2 innings. So that's fouled off for strike 2, so it evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mustangs and Merchants last year in 2024, the Mustangs had a 5-3 record, winning games 7-4, 9-7, 5-3, 3-1, losing 9-6 and 6-5, and then a win in the semifinal, 9-3, to advance them to the championship in the Mink playoffs. As outside pitch taken for ball 3. Count is full for Gundelfinger. First at bat in the bottom of the third. Full count to Gundelfinger. As he's going to swing it and line it into center field. First base hit for the Mustangs belongs to Tyler Gundelfinger. Trying to get some momentum started here in the bottom half of this lineup.
It's the bottom half of the lineup that spurred the comeback yesterday. Now Gundelfinger just getting a great approach, trying to stay up the middle. Timed up that breaking ball perfectly. It just seems like one of these things, it seems like when the Mustangs trail, they just seem to get better, and for some reason their opponent feels a lot of pressure even though they have the lead, and at least so far right now through 1 batter, it looks much of the same.
Off the glove of Dennis and going to second for 1, and Bodenhausen's going to run it out. A nice play made by Sammy Harris at short. He got the force with Gundelfinger, but Bodenhausen too speedy, didn't even want to make a play, but 1 out here, and that'll bring up Logan Miller.
Great job by Bodenhausen there to beat it out. Tough play over there by Harris. Tried to just step on the bag, but he missed it with his left foot, had to come back with the right. Now why way he wasn't able to get off a throw.
First pitch to Miller. That'll get behind Jeske, and that'll move Bodenhausen up to second base. So a 1-out runner in scoring position for the Cardinals. And this is where they seem the most comfortable, hoping to get their first run in the ballgame. Miller still at the 10-game hit streak, still looking to expand that. Ball, no strikes. Off speed catches the outside. Miller didn't like it. That'll be strike 1, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Bodenhausen over at second. Anything in the outfield down will score Bodenhausen with his speed on second, and the Cardinals desperately at this point just looking for a run on the board. 1-1 pitch, a good scoop by Jeske to keep it in front. 2 balls and a strike to Miller. Miller looking to be productive in a batter's count at 2 balls and a strike. Bodenhausen a nice lead. Down to the dirt, another good pick by Jeske. Will keep Bodenhausen cooped up at second, but 3 balls and a strike And Miller looking to get back-to-back base runners here for the Cardinals. It's Braden Lukehart on deck. And he'll go back to second. Bodenhausen, he's going to be safe off the glove of Oliver. Bodenhausen still put at second base. You can never be too sure with these Mustangs base runners, Mustang/Cardinals base runners. Three-one pitch here to Miller. Looking to drive Bodenhausen home from second. Your own pitch taken outside, and a 5-pitch walk issued to Logan Miller. That'll be his second walk issued on the night. And runners at first and second brings up Braden Lukehart, and another RBI chance for the Cardinals.
Great plate appearance right there by Miller. Just stayed patient, knows that that breaking ball from Dennis is going to run far the outside, basically forcing Dennis to throw it in the zone. Especially here to Lukehart. The approach hasn't changed. I'd like to see maybe he can turn on a breaking ball right here. He gets the opportunity to do so.
Just looking to be the most productive way he can put the ball in play. Lukehart's been a player that these Mustangs have been able to put their shoulders on. He's out of St. Joseph, originally from Wichita State University, played his last spring at Missouri Southern down in Joplin. Batted .347 with 7 home runs, so a really nice spring as he takes strike one in the zone. He's looking to translate that same type of season effect here this season with the Mustangs. Down no balls and a strike. Bodenhausen at second, Miller on first, 2 speedsters on for the Cardinals. 0-1 pitch, nothing given from Lukehart. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike.
That's that breaking ball right there. That just a little bit more elevated. Lukehart's going to make Dennis pay. Anything below the knees, just got to spit on it if you're Lukehart and force Dennis to either throw you a breaking ball over the plate or throw you a fastball.
Looking to go over that yellow frog graphics sign out in right field in the party deck. That breaking ball just misses for ball 2. Dennis had to give an extra look to the umpires. It did look pretty nice, but Lukehart now in a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Lukehart in a good spot here in this at-bat. 2-1, and that'll hit Lukehart up near the shoulder area. And now the bases are loaded with just 1 out on the hit-by pitch. And that'll bring up Dom Felix. Got some pop in that bat. And this would be a big spot for a bases unloading situation, or at least get 2 home. And with 1 out, even the sacrifice fly is still an option for Felix. And a mound visit here for the Merchants, trying to keep a big donut on the board for the Cardinals.
Again, just shades of last night. Big lead for the Merchants, and Dennis comes out and just very wild and not as sharp as we've seen him. And right here, I mean, a golden opportunity for Felix. He's got to be patient. Dennis has been missing to that glove side a lot, so I see Felix maybe go with that pitcher, just leave it out there. Force Dennis to throw you something inside your wheelbox. Don't help him out by chasing.
Felix, you Truman like to call him old reliable. In this situation, being reliable is all the Mustangs are asking for. Even a sacrifice fly, getting a run on the board, can just be the driving factor for a team like the Mustangs. Anything can start. Any of these players can be the flint to start the flame, and we've seen that yesterday. And Felix trying to do just that. Only 1 out on the board, so a good spot for Felix. The kid out of Tucson, Arizona. Inside just misses. A nice pitch from Dennis. Misses on the inside half for ball 1. Just 1 hit so far here for the Cardinals tonight. 1-0 pitch, runs upstairs, and here comes Bodenhausen to score for the first run of the night for the Cardinals, and both runners move up an extra 90 feet. And here we go, Truman. This is exactly what the Mustangs have liked to do, take advantage of these runners in scoring position, and that extra 90 feet coming to bite these opposing teams once again.
Again, just the pressure that they put on these teams, free passes, inability to convert double plays. Just any leeway that you give these Mustangs, they will keep that door open and just start chipping away with the axe. Felix lucky, got that bat down. Almost might have clipped the end of that bat. And again, just great heads-up base running. A lot of backstop here.
2-0 now to Dom Felix after the wild pitch that scored Bodenhausen. He takes a rip and will foul it off. Felix in his high school career at Canyon del Oro High School in Tucson helped his team to the 2022 Arizona State Championship. Named the 2022 Arizona Class 4A Offensive Player of the Year. And also competed in the 2022 Arizona High School All-Star Team. So in unfamiliar grounds here in Missouri, but looking to still be that all-star player. 2-1 count to Felix, nothing given. He has worked a 3-1 count on Dennis. Looking for another bases-loaded opportunity with just one out. Felix in a good spot here. We'll have to see how much of a green light he's wanting to get, or if he's just wanting to give a nice opportunity for George. Felix on 3-1, a big cut. 4-strike 2. And a full count here on Dom Felix. Felix in a 3-game hit streak as well. Looking to continue that, but in this moment here, got to be smart with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Runners on third and second. Full count pitch is ripped into center field. Smith into the sun. That is going to get down! Miller comes in to score. Rounding third is Lucart. Felix on his way to third. Throw is in time at third, but 2 runs come home to score on the double. 2 RBIs for Felix. And now the Cardinals only trail 3. It's 6-3. And Dom Felix, reliable once again.
Great piece of hitting right there from Felix. I mean, he tattoos that ball right up into the sun. That sun is still right out there in right center and just sneaks it over the head of Smith. I mean, it was just you got to tip your cap to the Merchants. Great relay throw because Felix was booking it, but it was just a great relay throw to cut him down. But now the lead been cut in half. Mustangs really starting to feel it at the plate.
George up next now with 2 outs. No runners as it was a bases clearing double from Felix. George's first pitch swinging. Solomon warm-ups. Merchants were really working on those cutoffs from the outfield into the infield, and it paid off here. Leaving a runner off 90 feet away with just 1 out, and George popped out to left back in the second inning, looking to catch another barrel that way. A 1 pitch, nice off speed, finds the zone for strike 2, so George quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. Another Arizona kid, him out of Queen Creek, Arizona. O2 pitch fouled off, a nice swing and a good contact made just out in front was George. Count remains 0-2.
Got to keep the line moving if you're George. Follow up what Felix did. Hit a mistake. Don't try to do too much with it. Just extend the inning.
No balls and 2 strikes, looking to extend that inning. Delivers an off speed. That'll be grounded over to De Los Santos at third. A long throw over to first is not in time. Can't get the tag down, and George will reach on yet another infield error from this Merchants. And here you go, the lineup still moving on. Inning continues here for the Mustangs, bringing up Chris Coy.
That was one of those. De Los Santos did everything right except make the throw. Fielded it cleanly, but that throw just sailed on him. Great effort by Lutheran over there at first base. I mean, first look, it looked like he was able to jump up and get the swipe tag down, but just missed George, who, again, just hustles everything out. Again, it's things like these errors with 2 outs that'll come back to bite you if you're Carroll.
First pitch upstairs for Coy. Coy popped up to Oliver at second into the sun. Had to make a tough play now as we see out in the outfield. That area is now shaded. So just a little bit of sun peeking out here at Phil Welch so far. Hoping to cool down this temperature as well. It's Coy in a 2-out spot as George on first. Looking to extend the inning and get some more runs on the board for the Mustangs. Another slider inside, finds for strike one. When you faced Coy, I mean, what was he giving you? Was he giving you some heat, or was he more of a just, throw everything kind of guy?
To be honest, I don't remember. Almost 15 months ago now, so
Yeah.
I just remember playing against him, and it was a game that you talk about how bad the sun here is at Phil Welch. I mean, we were playing at Hillcrest High School in Springfield, Missouri. That sun was absolutely brutal. It looked like the sun was right on the other side of the field. I mean, you couldn't even look out into right field.
Oh, man.
With how bad the sun was.
1-2 pitch here to Coy. Inside, taking evens to count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the sun definitely here at Phil Welch can get like that. I mean, they're in the outfield to start the game. It is always peeking out just on that grass line. And now we can see it's starting to get into those trees into the outfield. Still a good breeze here in St. Joe's. The 2-2 pitch to Coy is going to be hit off. And Coy's kind of putting his plate that it hit off the ground first. No foul ball. It'll be out number 3, and Coy still plating his case.
I think he has. I mean, that ball looked awkwardly. That ball definitely did not hit the lip. That's why you got to be a little bit of an actor sometimes. I mean, you got to grunt. You got to grab something. I mean, you can't just expect the umpire to hear it. But I mean, I think that is a bad call. That ball looked awkward off the bat. I mean, it's an unfortunate call. It ends the inning, but it's just an unfortunate end to this inning for St. Joe.
It is, but 3 runs come home for the Mustangs / Cardinals, whichever way you want to look at it tonight. Cardinals down 6-3. We're headed into the 4th inning of play. A new ball game here at Phil Welch, and we'll see you in the 4th. You're watching Cardinals baseball here on YouTube. Here in the top of the 4th, it'll be Lane Chapman coming out of the bullpen, first one of the night. Bronco Witt, they're going 3 innings, 6 runs, and just 4 hits. It'll be Chapman's turn to try and shut down these Merchants and Truman we saw last night. A tough outing from Harrington. The bullpen came in, kind of swept just the kind of mess off the feet, and we're looking to see the same outcome here tonight.
I mean, Caden Carter was the first arm called upon last night, and he was fantastic, and now his teammate Lane Chapman looks to do the same and just keep the Mustangs in this game.
And that'll be the perfect start to the outing for Chapman, as an inside pitch caught up De Los Santos and couldn't get a good barrel, and that'll be popped out to George for the first out. So a perfect start. And we're back to the top of the order with Gavin Gonzalez. Drew the walk back in the 3rd and ended up scoring, but still looking for his first base hit here of this ball game. As Gonzalez rips it over to George, and that'll hop off the glove on the hop, and Gonzalez reaches to first on what I think will be an infield single with that type of velocity. And an early base runner with just one out for the Merchants.
And that ball was absolutely ripped. And, I mean, George backing up. I mean, you don't want to back up on a ball like that and let it eat you up. But right there's the decision he had to make. And it's just tough right there. Because if you do back up on it, you'd like to see you get your body in front of it. But George was trying to go with more the horizontal, grab it with the glove, and it just hopped over.
Gonzalez, back in the third inning of play, was actually the first base runner for the Merchants of their 6-run third, so looking to be the same catalyst so far. And it's Nolan Oliver. Drew a walk back in the third as well. Double play ball for Chapman would be. That is ripped over to third into left field for another base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Merchants with one out here in the fourth. Now 2 runners on as it'll bring up Sammy Harris.
That's one thing we did not see last night was Mustangs bullpen did not give up any hits in the final 7 innings of pitching. Now already back-to-back here. It's going to be about, maybe you got to change the signals. Not saying that's the reason, but start pitching a lot of these hitters backwards. We've seen a lot of first pitch fastballs. Carroll is yet to chase, but just try to mix anything up. Keep them guessing.
Sammy Harris was the back-to-back-to-back walk back in the third, ended up scoring. Lane Chapman out of Missouri Southern University in Joplin. Only 7 appearances last spring on 12.2 innings pitched, 13 hits, 11 earned runs with a 7.82 ERA. Double play still in commission for the Mustangs, and that ball is slapped into center field, giving Chase's Miller with the speed, and he'll make the play for the second out, and a big second out for this Mustangs defense, trying to hold the Merchants off the scoreboard.
Is a big second out right there. Miller got a great jump on it. Doesn't have the sun to deal with anymore. So fast out there in center, he can cover a lot of grass.
I mean, we got guys like Miller, Lukart, Freeman, and we say that Johnny Coy loves to mix around this defense. That outfield is one that never really changes when you got guys that you can really trust. And Miller made a nice play for the second out. And it is Fernando Espinal swinging on the first pitch. Unloaded the bases on those back-to-back-to-back walks with a 3 RBI triple with 2 outs back in the third. And another good spot for Espinal. Looking for his 3rd hit of the night. Runs inside for ball 1, evens the count up at a ball and a strike.
That's really where you want to work against Espinal. He crowds that plate, so if you can jam him inside, not let him get extended on those pitches out over the half of the plate, you're going to find success against him.
Outside, and it catches the zone for strike 2 on Espinal, and now 2 strike count with 2 outs. Chapman trying to get the job done for the Mustangs here in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch from Chapman. Off the bat of Espinal. He's hustling out of the box. Bodenhausen with the throw. Not in time. It will be in time for the 3rd out. A close play at first. Called out is Espinal. 2 left on and no runs allowed from Chapman. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. No runs allowed here for the Mustangs here on YouTube. Welcome back into Phil Welch Stadium. Still 6-3. Mustangs still trail 3 runs. It is Nintendo Switch 2 giveaway night here at Phil Welch. And our first trivia question for you guys tonight is, what was the first Mario Kart game ever released? Was it A, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, Super Mario Kart, or Mario Kart Super Circuit? So drop your guys' answers in the chat. What was the first Mario Kart game ever released? And one of my personal favorites on the Switch. And my girlfriend, if you are watching at home, she holds a big series lead over me in the game of Mario Kart, and that is one thing that she will always hold over my head. Mario Kart, I love that game, Truman. I don't know about you, but Mario Kart, what a classic.
Yeah, I remember playing Mario Kart Wii. I have a PlayStation 5 now, so no Mario Kart, but I did play with my roommate in college this past spring, and he definitely beat me, but...
Coming in to pinch hit for Trevor McCollum is going to be Jaden Little, making his first appearance in this game here in the 4th. Little last night, 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs, so back-to-back appearances for him. Tonight and yesterday, also found himself playing in the first game of the homestand. Back on Thursdays, he takes strike 1, and Little is trying to mix up this lineup a little bit to try and draw this Merchants pitching staff off a little.
Little's guy with some pop. He's definitely swung a hot bat as of late.
So watches the second pitch down and in for ball 1. Ball and a strike out of Lincoln University. Originally from St. Joe. Back home with the Mustangs for the summer outside for ball 2. Two-one pitch to Little. Is inside, and Little, newly into the game, is met by the fresh out of the pen Colby Culbertson. The first bullpen use here for the Merchants in this game after a solid outing from Aiden Dennis. Culbertson finds strike 2, and it is a full count on Little in his first batter faced here in his night. Three-two pitch from Culbertson. Off speed and upstairs, and the full count walk issued to Jaden Little. An early base runner here for the Mustangs in the bottom of the 4th.
That's what you want to see out of Little, especially fresh off the bench. You never know when you're going to get into the game. And right here, again, Mustangs just need base runners. Need to find ways to chip away. It doesn't have to be all 3 right here in this inning. But that's a great start because, again, it immediately puts pressure on Culbertson out on the mound.
Easton Philippi up next, his second at-bat. Full out to left in his first at-bat in the second. Looking to continue the inning for the Mustangs, and a fresh face out of the bullpen, and that is going to hit Philippi up in the neck area, and that'll put Little at second. Another quick base runner on for the Mustangs, and Philippi shrugging it off pretty quickly, and a quick mound visit for the new guy out of the pen, Culbertson, trying to settle his nerves down.
Against those free passes. You'd be okay if the Mustangs just hit you around, and that's why you've given up 3 runs. But it's been the free passes. It's been unable to convert double plays, walks, hit by pitches, and now right here, walk, then a hit by pitch, and still nobody out. Now you have the 9-hole in the back at the top of the order. I mean, Gundelfinger, Mustangs aren't the type of team to just lay down a bunt.
Gundelfinger in a big spot, singled back in the 3rd. Looking to do the same thing here, trying to drive home Little in second, and trying to continue to get these Mustangs around the base path. That's exactly what they do best. No outs still. Big spot for Gundelfinger. Time called by Blue. Culbertson off of the mound visit. Sometimes all you need is a pitcher out of the pen. But in a little bit of a tricky situation. Don't want to load the bases up again for these Mustangs. But you don't want to give anything too close for Gundelfinger. He's got some pop as of recently for these Mustangs. Upstairs, and a good catch by Jeske. Allen was just about a couple inches away from going past him, and moving both runners into scoring position.
Again, don't chase anything. Don't help out Culbertson on the mound. Make him come to you.
The 1-0 delivery to Gundelfinger off speed, misses once again pretty far outside. Quickly, 2 balls, no strikes for Culbertson. Still trying to find his first strike of the at-bat. 3-2 walk to Little, and the first pitch to Philippi was a hit by pitch. And quickly losing to Gundelfinger, 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 pitch, finds the zone just upstairs and out for strike 1. Gundelfinger didn't really like that one as it was a little bit far out, but close enough with that big wide of a zone that Gundelfinger has. Two balls and a strike. Gundelfinger's going to be swinging on 2-1, pops it up. Jeske throws off the glove, playing it, and that is going to be foul on the top netting, and quickly 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gundelfinger.
Past couple pitches have been elevated. See if Culbertson goes with something, a breaking pitch down and away. But Gundelfinger got to be ready. Maybe it's that 3rd time in a row. Be on time, be out in front of that pitch. That's the pitch you want to pull deep into the gap in left center.
Colby Culbertson out of Northern State University, and originally out of Coon Rapids, Iowa. 2-2 pitch to Gundelfinger. Swung on and fouled off the ground as the inside pitch was trailing close, and Gundelfinger just wanted to get a bat on it. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Culbertson only 3 appearances this last spring at Northern State. Only 1-1 innings pitched, 5 hits and 6 runs. Looking to get some more reps here this summer. Staying home in Carroll, Iowa. Off speed, and Gundelfinger's going to put a flare into center field. That is going to get down. Little over to 3rd in time, moving over Philippi to 2nd. And a no-out single puts the bases loaded. Back at the top of the lineup for Truman Bodenhausen.
Sometimes it's all you need, a little bloop, and next up is the blast. Right there, I mean, great job. Just hitting into no man's land. And for Carroll, I mean, would have liked to see either of Harris or Oliver to trail off and head back to 2nd and possibly have the chance at the fielder's choice, just because both of Little and Philippi had to hold, but both of them vacated, and it was an easy for the Mustangs now to load the bases.
Bodenhausen with the bases loaded, strike 1 on a nice off-speed. Gundelfinger, 2nd hit of the night. 2 of the 3 for the Mustangs tonight come off the bat of Gundelfinger. No outs and the bases are loaded, so Bodenhausen trying to avoid the double play and put something out in the outfield. Watches the ball down and in. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Bodenhausen reached on the fielder's choice and scored back in the 3rd.
It's one of those things we saw it last night with Jeff City. Their first guy out of the pen couldn't even make it a full inning, giving up a plethora of runs.
And that'll be grounded over to Harris. He'll go to 2nd for 1. Bodenhausen's safe, and he'll reach on another 6-4 fielder's choice, and he'll score an RBI as Little comes home to score. It's 6-4, so a productive out once again from Bodenhausen. And runners now on the corners with Philippi at 3rd, Bodenhausen at 1st, just an out for Logan Miller.
That's what you like to see out of Bodenhausen, not trying to do too much when his speed. There's no way you're turning 2 on that ball.
Quality RBI from Bodenhausen. It's the Mustangs. Just a runner 90 feet away once again, just an out for Miller. He's going to lay down the bunt down the line, and it is still trailing fair. That'll get fouled just barely. But a good bunt attempt from Miller as Philippi was there to score. Miller likely safe at 1st. Just gets foul.
Like the idea for Miller. He was trying to just lay it right down that line, trying to keep that fair, but just hit a rock or hit that lip. Trailed foul, but I definitely like the idea Again, Mustangs aren't known for playing small ball in terms of bunting, but Miller with his speed possesses that ability. Especially a push bunt right here with how far the second baseman is playing up the middle. If he tries another push bunt, again, maybe not just trying to lay it right down the first base line, really, again, push it towards right field, but that's a hole where if I'm Miller and I get a pitch in the outer half, I'm trying to hit it that way.
1-1 pitch, finds the inside half for strike 2. Now Miller down 2 strikes, just an out. Mustangs trail it only by 2 runs. Runner on the corner is Philippi. De Los Santos in at third, playing a little bit more shallow. So he could rip one inside. He's going to be swinging, and he's going to miss the ball. And it'll be a strikeout nonetheless for Miller. So 2 outs on the board, but Bodenhausen does move up to second base. Philippi stays put at third. But another quality out, allowing Bodenhausen to move up to second. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Braden Lukart.
And just for all those folks wondering at home why Miller wasn't safe at first, because first base was already occupied. So Miller, even though it was a drop third, he's automatically out.
Bodenhausen doing a good job realizing that, getting a nice chance at second base. And now Lukart 2 runners in scoring position, trying to tie this ball game up at 6 apiece with a base hit into the outfield. So he takes ball 1. Lukart hit by a pitch in the third and scored. He's been hit by a pitch twice in this ball game so far. Looking to get a piece off Culbertson. Jeske picks it up in the dirt for ball 2, keeping it in front. Keeping Philippi on third, but 2 balls, no strikes to Lukart. 2 outs on the board. Mustangs have already plated 1 so far here in the 4th, looking to get 2 more for Lukart to continue this inning.
Philippi, a guy who possesses sleeper speed, so Jesse's going to have to keep everything in front of him.
Lukart's going to rip it over to second. That's going to get off the glove and into right, into score. Philippi coming around to score is Bodenhausen, and we are tied at 6. A 2 RBI single from Braden Lukart.
These kids just don't know when to quit, do they?
I mean, don't.
They are down 6-0, and you know it's a summer ball game. You know it's hot. You know you're still commanding the Mink, but man, the Mustangs just show up night after night. And Braden Lukart, I mean that ball is right in his wheelhouse. Culbertson has no real reason to be throwing him such a good pitch like that, and he makes him pay. Just ripping it into right field. I mean, Oliver gave his best efforts at it, but you're not getting that ball.
The Manic Mustangs continue to get their surge going. They tie it up at 6 with 3 runs here in the 4th. 3 runs last inning in the 3rd, and we're tied once again at 6 apiece on the 2 RBI single with 2 outs to mention Braden Lukart. And these Mustangs continue to do it with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. But we're going to take a quick break as the Merchants call to the bullpen here with 2 outs. We'll be right back here on YouTube. It'll be Zach Turpin out of the bullpen for the Merchants, coming in with just a runner on first. And Lukart, it'll be Dom Felix up to bat next for the Mustangs, trying to continue this big inning once again. And they're looking to just shut it down here after back-to-back innings with 3 runs for these Mustangs as Turpin misses on the first pitch outside for ball 1. Felix a 2 RBI double back in the third. He was caught at third, trying to extend it to a triple. But looking to get Lucart home as there he goes towards second. Throw down from Jeske, not in time. And guess what? Braden Lucart in standing with a stolen base at second.
Lucart just a great jump, and that's what you like to see. Especially a guy fresh out of the bullpen knowing he's got to put out the fire. Doesn't really change up his timing on his warm-ups, does the same thing every time, and he translates that into live action, so Lucart was able to get a great read off him.
To a pitch, there goes Lucart to third. Jeske's throw over to third. Once again, standing up on the stolen bases. Lucart, back-to-back stolen bases, and now a 2-1 count to Felix. Has just a runner 90 feet away.
Again, same thing. Did not change up the timing one bit. Didn't even check on Lucart over there by Turpin. So that's just better base running. And that's on Turpin right there, those 2 stolen bases.
2-1 swung and missed from Felix on the off speed, and he's down 2 balls, 2 strikes to Turpin. Turpin also out of Des Moines Area Community College alongside a bunch of his teammates. Only found himself in 12 games played. 2-2 pitch outside. A good pick from Jeske in the dirt. Holds Lucart at third. So now full count to Felix. Only 8 in 1 innings pitched on 5 hits and 14 earned runs for Turpin this last spring at Des Moines Area Community College. And Turpin reigns out of Waukee, Iowa. 3-2 pitch, ripped down the third base line. Coy having to get out of the way as Felix a lot of speed off the bat. We remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Turpin definitely similar in terms of pitch selection to Dennis. He's got a hard breaking ball. I've already seen it a couple times. We've seen Felix chase. I don't think that's in the back of his head right now. Just knowing to wait on that pitch.
3-2 pitch upstairs, and that'll put Felix at first via the walk. And the first batter Turpin's got to face finds himself at first, and runners on the corners for the Mustangs. Still 2 outs, and now Justin George still looking for his first hit in the game.
Very nice AB there from Felix. Again, not trying to do too much, and just one of those things. When the fire's brewing, it seems like the opponent's pitcher tries to bring his fire extinguisher, but in between his run-in from the bullpen to the mound, the Mustangs have substituted for a can of gasoline.
George takes the first pitch down low for ball 1. Mustangs currently on a 4-game win streak since losing to the A's. Looking to continue that, still tied at 6 apiece. It's George in a nice pick once again from Jeske to leave Lucart on third. Lucart on third, Felix on first, just 90 feet away. The Mustangs are from untying this ball game and taking their first lead of the ball game. Two to George. Swung on, and it'll be fouled off, and luckily fouled off. As Lucart was on his horse towards home, and now 2-1 to Justin George.
It's that breaking ball again. That one was more in the zone. George took a good rip on it. Just got to wait on it a little bit more. That's the pitch you line into right center, down the right field line. If you try to pull that ball, you're going to roll over, be thrown out by 10 steps.
And that's going to hit George in the back. And now the bases are loaded once again with 2 outs for the Mustangs. And it'll bring up Chris Coy to look to continue the inning that just won't seem to end for these Merchants.
Just one of those things. The Merchants, they put 6 up on the board, but so far, 6 has not been a big enough lead against these Mustangs. And it's just seems like maybe it seems like we're starting to see now the Mustangs, they're tired of blowing everyone out. So now they're trying, you know, it's just an unwritten between them that they're going to spot the opponent a few runs tonight, really, liven up the crowd, keep the crowd engaged.
It's all about that runs inside on Coy, almost hitting him, and it is really just one of those things. Mustangs have been so dominant the last couple of weeks, Truman, that we've been here, and now we've seen a kind of a different approach, and they're just looking to see how far they can go with down a lead, and it has seemed 6 not enough. 7 not enough as Coy puts a flare into center field. That ball is deeply struck. Smith giving chase, and he makes the catch. And Turpin leaves the bases loaded, but not before 3 more runs come to score for the Mustangs, and we are tied at 6 apiece. And we're headed to the 5th inning of play. Once again, your Mustangs are tied with the Merchants 6-6. We'll be right back. You're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Welcome back into Phil Welch Stadium. 3 more for the Mustangs, tied at 6 apiece. And we asked you guys a couple innings and a half ago, what was the first Mario Kart game ever released? Was it Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, Super Mario Kart, or Mario Kart Super Circuit? Well, if any of you guys at home guessed Super Mario Kart, you are correct. It was the first of the greatly and historic video game series that Mario Kart is, well known from everyone around the world, and one of my household favorites. And like I said, Claire, if you're watching at home, you know you have that series over me that I am continuing to try and come back in, but it seems like that series is far too gone.
It was Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, the
SNES.
The SNES.
The
Yep.
SNES.
SNES. Back when Nintendo had some flair to it. Now we're here at the Switch 2.
Very uncreative name. I mean, you know, they had the Wii, and then you had the Wii U, which is, again, now you go from the Nintendo Switch. You couldn't come up with something better because, again, not to, get into, the marketing side, but one of the reasons the Wii U flopped was because they had both the Wii and the Wii U still on shelves at the same time. So parents would get confused when their kid would be like, well, I want a Wii. Well, they would see that the Wii was cheaper than the Wii U. And so they would not get it. So I'm just, it's still early in terms of sales for the Nintendo Switch 2. And, I mean, it really just came out, but it'll be one of those things. I mean, maybe they're doing a better job of marketing because there are these newer games. And so they're saying, hey, Mario Kart World for the Nintendo Switch DOS.
Right.
But, again, one of those marketing things. Not in those marketing meetings, but always interesting.
It is. It really is to see, companies as big as Nintendo take different approaches to stuff. I know that, Mario Kart World comes out on just the Nintendo Switch 2, which is the driving factor to sales right now. And they did a good job with the release on that. As on 3-1, it'll be Aiden Eggers finding himself at first. Actually, strike 2 called. Late call strike 2, so it'll be a full count to Eggers. Here to start, the top of the 5th, Lane Chapman still on the mound, but, the DS, one of my favorites as a kid, Nintendo-wise, and we had a GameCube and a Game Boy as well, so, I mean, I played about every facet. On 3-2, Eggers puts a deep pop fly into the infield. It's Gundelfinger calling everyone off. He makes the play. A little bit tougher to see up there, but he reels it in for the first out.
Great job there by Lane Chapman. I mean, was down 3-1, able to respond with a couple great pitches, and then Gundelfinger, again, just calling everyone off. It's not yet twilight. I mean, the sun has mostly gone down, but still very light out, so good job of keeping an eye on the ball.
Martin Smith playing center field tonight. Will get his 3rd crack at it here in the top of the 5th. Upstairs taken for ball 2. 2-0 quickly to Smith. Chapman finds the zone for strike 1 on the off speed, and Smith so far flew out to left. An RBI single back in the 3rd, ended up stealing 2nd, and ended up scoring his way home. 2-1 pitch is going to be flared on the first base side. George looking up, and he is going to make the catch, and a nice play on the foul territory for the 2nd out. And both corners of the infield making some solid putouts, and a nice inning of work for Chapman so far.
Just an unbelievable play there by George. I mean, such a tough play, running back, looking up over his shoulder. You'd like to see maybe if Little was able to get there, but just a great job seeing it all the way into the glove and showing off his range.
Tough play to make. He's kind of looking up on the side near the wall, trying to guess where he's at. Doesn't want to go too far on the wall. Solid play from George. And now 2 quick outs. Bring up Jacob Jeske. An RBI double back in the 3rd. Looking to continue with his hot bat here in this game as he watches ball 1 outside. Jeske, the catcher tonight, made some pretty nice stops behind home plate. Let a couple go by, but especially with runners on 3rd, he's made some pretty nice picks behind the dish, and he's swinging and missing in a big hack. Chapman finds his first strike of the at-bat.
Definitely one of the reasons why we're all knotted up at 6. As you said, he's been very impressive defensively behind the dish, blocking pitches and keeping the ball in front of him.
So he watches the off speed in the zone for strike 2. So now 1 ball, 2 strike count for Chapman with 2 outs. Trying to go 1-2-3 for the first time since the 1st inning. Just misses the zone, and Gundelfinger at 3rd already running into the dugout. So it just misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jeske. Chapman looking to put it at that same spot. 2-2 just misses inside. We're full. 3-2 to Jeske. Looking for a late runner on base once again for the Merchants. Count is full with 2 outs. Three-two pitch inside, and Jeske draws the full count walk. Finds himself on first with 2 outs in the inning. Brings up Jack Lutheran.
This is where Mustangs pitching got in trouble in that 6-run 3rd. It was they got 2 quick, easy outs, but then it was 3 straight walks by Bronco Witt. Hoping Chapman doesn't replicate that. Just, again, needs to stay within himself. Get out the bottom of the order while he can.
2 outs for Lutheran. Off speed, finds the zone. A good spot from Chapman after the back-to-back balls that put Jeske on first. Lutheran today 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. As Lutheran puts a big pop fly into left field, giving chases. McCollum looking up to the warning track and makes the catch for the 3rd out. Chapman just gives up the walk but leaves him on first. We are still tied at 6 apiece here at Phil Welch. But we're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Back here at Phil Welch, we're at the bottom of the 5th inning. And much like last inning, it'll be Jaden Little leading it off once again. Back-to-back innings, he's found himself in the leadoff spot in the bottom half of the order. Subbed in for Trevor McCollum back in the 4th. He's now playing right field in tonight's game. Zach Turpensilla on the mound as Little's going to chop it over to short, making the play as Harris throw over to first in time, and Little retired on the ground out on the first pitch here in the 5th. Easton Philippi up to the dish next after the quick first out. Back-to-back innings at the Mustangs played at home 3. Trying to get another little bit of a jump start in this bottom half lineup. It's Philippi, then Gundelfinger on deck. Philippi hit by a pitch and ended up scoring. His first pitch outside for ball 1. Philippi out of Staley High School in Kansas City, Missouri. My alma mater. Falcon strong, as we like to say over there. Let's watch this ball 2 outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Philippi.
I don't think my high school had a saying.
No Tigers or like a...
Well, again, Tigers very common mascot. I mean, not that I knew of at least.
As Philippi grounds it on the first base side, goes foul.
Definitely have a saying at Lindenwood, though.
And what is that?
Roar, Lions, roar.
Roar, Lions, roar.
Well, or, you know, if we're trying to recruit people to come, it's awaken your roar within or something, you know.
Love it.
But yeah, I don't think my high school, I mean, let's...
Over in Northwest, we got Power of the Paw. Once a Bearcat, always a Bearcat. It's our biggest one. 2-1 pitch to Philippi. Inside for 3-1 now. Philippi trying to get a 1-out base runner for the Mustangs. Anything counts, especially in this middle half of the game. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off by Philippi sharply on the ground. Count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We also say Cats by 90 when it comes to football. Hoping to do that this fall. Turn around the program. It's Philippi. A 3-2 count. One out here on the board for the Mustangs. 3-2 pitch runs inside, and Philippi draws the full count walk. Another base runner with an out on the board for the Mustangs so far this game. And it brings up Tyler Gundelfinger. 2 singles on his night, looking to continue his nice outing.
Yeah, just great walk there by Philippi. Kept his eyes, you know, in that zone. And he's such a young hitter, but he has such a good sense. As a catcher, I mean, just able to stay within himself.
First pitch down low for Gundelfinger. Ball, no strikes. He's got Philippi on first. Philippi, like you mentioned, Truman, he's got that sleeper type of speed. Might see a stolen base attempt here. Put another runner in scoring position for these Mustangs. It's Gundelfinger 2 hits on the night, looking to continue his surge. He'll go back over to Philippi at first. Keep a close check on him. Still a ball, no strikes.
Philippi guy, again, sleeper speed. You think he's a catcher, you think he just hits for power, but he's got some speed on him, and we've seen that before. Wouldn't be shocked if maybe he tries to go here, but especially with Gundelfinger being in the 9-hole, I mean, I think you just want to flip the lineup over to the top, and hopefully Gundelfinger can rip one in the outfield. But again, Mustangs just find a way to manufacture things.
2-0 finds his own outside for strike 1. It's now 2-1 to Gundelfinger. You know, as the game continues to develop, you know, a young guy like Philippi, catchers, first baseman, third base, all these guys are starting to develop more speed. And there goes Philippi towards second. Jeski's throw down, not in time, and there's the stolen base for Easton Philippi. And he shows off those wheels and puts a runner in scoring position for the Mustangs.
Again, just a great jump, read it all the way. Jeske stood up a little bit more than I'd like to see. You'd like to stay low as a catcher, throwing through it, not up and then through, not a right angle. You want to go more in that just straight line, and so that allowed that throw. He stood up, that throw was high, and allowed Philippi to get in there easily.
Philippi now in second, 3-1 to Gundelfinger. Puts a swing into to right center field, giving chase. Espinal makes the catch. Philippi's going to stay put at second. And now the second out via the fly out. A good spot by Gundelfinger, just trailed up too much. Now 2 outs on the board. Philippi still on second for the Mustangs.
Tough swing right there from Gundelfinger. He got a good pitch to hit in the 3-1. You wouldn't like to miss your pitch, and I think Gundelfinger missed his pitch right there. Just got jammed a little bit, wasn't able to get extended and stay through it. Instead of ripping that one into left field, that one was just popped up into right center.
Bodenhausen looking to drive home Philippi on second. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. Turpin looking to get out of it. Off speed, finds the zone for strike 1. Bodenhausen has reached on base both times via the fielder's choice and has came around to score on both. Now down to no balls and a strike. Philippi a good lead over at second. Turpin a quick delivery. Fouled off by Bodenhausen, quickly down. No balls and 2 strikes. Bodenhausen also flew out into left field back in the first. Bodenhausen out of North Central Missouri College, batted .252 this last spring. So staying close to home this summer in St. Joe. He's out of Savannah, Missouri, just about 25, 30 minutes up the road, just outside of Maryville, Missouri. Oh, 2 pitch to Bodenhausen is going to be swung on in a flare out into shallow center field. That's going to get down Philippi on his horse, and he's going to come in to score on the RBI single, which gives the Mustangs their first lead of the night. And with 2 outs, the Mustangs continue to produce.
Truman Bodenhausen just continues to come through time and time again for this team. He wouldn't strike you, you'd think, as an RBI machine, but he just finds ways to drive in runs. And I mean, you got to give credit to Philippi, stealing the base, putting himself in scoring position. And then Bodenhausen, a little bit of a duck fart, what I like to call those. Just a little bit, you know, Carroll saying, that was a dinky hit. But for the Mustangs, that's a big time hit right there. And again, it started all with a walk. So Carroll fans, you could be complaining that, but, you know, again, it started with a walk and then a stolen base, and then you just serve up a single, and sometimes that's just baseball. And
yeah, anything goes. You know, you can't give things too easy to teams, and there goes Bodenhausen to second. Jeske's throw on line, not in time, can't get the tag on, and another stolen base this inning. This one belongs to Truman Bodenhausen.
Great jump. Really reading Turpin well right now. With the speed at the top of this lineup, again, another single would play another one easily.
What you said, duck fart. Uncle Stover, if you're watching at home, he always taught me as a little kid, duck snort. So a little bit on the same line. Still got ducks in there. 1-1 pitch to Miller is fouled off, so a ball and 2 strikes. Bodenhausen, runner in position to score. Now the Mustangs once again with 2 outs. It's just been that type of way this whole season long. 2 outs and a runner's in scoring position. It's just been the creme de la crop, as some would say, for these Mustangs so far. Looking to put the cherry on top this inning. Bodenhausen a good lead at second. In the dirt, and there goes Bodenhausen advancing an extra 90 feet. And now a runner just 90 feet away for Logan Miller with 2 outs, looking to put a good swing and drive home Bodenhausen.
For how good Jeske's been behind the dish, there's really nothing he could do for that one. I mean,
Oof.
that ball only made it away from the plate, so.
That ball that is shielding the grandstand. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Logan Miller. Bodenhausen still trailing on third. He's going to take a little bit of time off. Espinal kind of going a little bit more to the left in right field. Left field playing a little bit more shallow. 2-2 pitch to Miller. Inside, full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Turpin looking to just keep Bodenhausen at third, but Mustangs have really changed the narrative of this game with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Another walk here would be crucial. Fouled off by Miller. Saw something close to the zone. Keeps it alive.
Deeper you get into counts, the more the pressure builds on the pitcher to continue to make pitches. If you're Miller, don't help out Turpin by chasing something. Have your zone expand by a couple inches, but
3-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. And another full count walk issued to the Mustangs and runners on the corners with 2 outs. And it brings up Braden Lukart. 2 RBI single his last time up in the 4th, and he's looking to put another one out deep into the outfield. Jeske getting time from the ump to go talk to Turpin. 2 outs on the board, and Truman, we have definitely seen the script flipped pretty quick again for the Mustangs. We've been talking about how just the game yesterday flipped on an easy couple of walks, and now this game. Only 1 run this inning, but the 6 runs the last 2 have definitely put up some of that momentum.
I mean, they've scored 7 unanswered runs for the 2nd consecutive night. Their opponent just has not had an answer when this offense finally gets going. You could almost say this offense these last couple of games has been like a pickle jar. Can't get it open, can't get it open. You know, you're trying to bang it against the counter, maybe run some hot water under, but then, you know, you might open it, and then it's like now you have all the pickles you want.
Right.
Now, I guess this analogy is more coming from the Mustangs are trying to open their own pickle jar.
Right.
I don't think Carroll's trying to open the pickle jar.
Logan Miller scampers down to second with the stolen base. And all it takes is just the one good crack at the jar to open it. And those could be issued the walks, hit by pitches, anything free given by these merchants can crack open that lid. And it is still almost ready to give. Is that one right down the middle for Lukart? Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Now 2 runners in scoring position off the stolen base from Miller. His first stolen base on the night. It's Bodenhausen and Miller. A base hit here scores 2. Lukart trying to come through on 1-1, puts a deep fly into center field. Smith backpedaling all the way, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the Mustangs take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th, and it is now 7-6. Your Mustangs now lead it. We're headed to the 6th inning of play here on YouTube. Back here in Phil Welch will be Kengri De Los Santos. Leading it off here in the top of the 6th inning. Chapman still out on the mound for the Mustangs. Ball one taken to De Los Santos. As my partner Truman Griesel, burning his hands off, has came in with what looks a bratwurst delivery. Thank you very much, Truman. These things are piping hot. You are right.
Darn warmer. It's too hot.
Too hot. 2 balls and no strikes to Kengri De Los Santos. Off speed in the zone. Catches it for strike 1. And Chapman's
Came in just needing to keep the Merchants right at 6, and he's done that, and has allowed time for this Mustangs lineup to come through.
sharply lined foul. Brings the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes to De Los Santos. If you're just joining us, I'm Jackson Phelps. Joined next to me, Truman Griesel, here in the later half of this game. Mustangs lead at 7-6 in a late middle inning comeback once again. The full count pitch to De Los Santos. Swung on and fouled off once again. If you like what you see here on the stream, be sure to check out our YouTube page throughout our off days of the stream. Got some really nice content pumping out for you guys throughout the week. Highlights after every game. Podcast episodes with me, Keaton and Andrew Clark. Player vlogs with Andrew Clark. It's the full count pitch to De Los Santos. Swing and a miss, and Chapman gets De Los Santos down swinging on a full count for the first out.
Blew the heater right by him. Great location. De Los Santos was trying to yank that ball, and he had no chance at it.
That heater from Chapman, another one. It looks a lot like Bronco Witch, just really hard to see out of the hands, and it'll bring up Gavin Gonzalez back at the top of the half order for the Merchants. Singled back in the 4th inning. He's looking to do some damage here in the 6th. First pitch from Chapman down the middle for strike 1. As well, some more content reading with Raleigh into the stables with our intern Aiden. Weekly vlogs with Kai Turner showing off what happens here at Phil Welch as Gonzalez puts a deep drive into right field. Little giving chase, makes the catch. He's cutting into the center field gap, but Little covers a lot of ground to make the 2nd out, and 2 quick outs for Chapman. So we are almost done here in the 6th.
That's just Phil Welch being Phil Welch. That ball was absolutely smoked off the bat, but just something in this air just knocked it down and made it an easy play.
Out in center field, we do see that wind has died down pretty much. Driving up here, it was pretty windy all throughout the middle half of the day, but now evening falls. Wind has calmed down here in St. Joe as another deep ball put into left field, giving chase. Lucart, he's backing up, makes the catch. In the outfield, does their job at the Phil Welch graveyard. Putting the ball to rest once again. 1-2-3 goes Chapman with a strikeout. And we're headed to the bottom of the 6th. Your Mustangs still lead it 7-6 here on YouTube. Back inside Phil Welch. Mustangs still lead at 7-6. Some games happening around the Mink. Nevada traveled to Jefferson City today, where the Renegades won 4-0, where the Renegades gave the Mustangs a little bit of a hard time yesterday. Come out with a nice win over the Griffins. And then down in Chillicothe, 10-0, a final in 7 innings. The Mudcats beat the Bombers at home. So 2 nice wins from some of these teams in the Mink. And a decently competitive season so far, as it's Clarinda and St. Joe up at the top, and really just a feud in that middle with a lot of teams pretty evened up. Trying to compete with 1 and 2 so far, as Dom Felix leads it off this inning as he takes ball 1 inside. Ball 2 goes inside as well, so 2-0 to Felix.
Rally started last inning with a walk. Felix ahead 2-0. I see if he gets something good to hit.
He's swinging on 2-0, and he'll foul it off for the first strike in the at-bat. It's still Turpin out on the mound for the Merchants, so they've liked what they've saw. So he's only given up that one last inning, and he's looking to put a 0 on the board for the first time since the 2nd inning. Ball swung on. That just got under it, is Felix. And a nice play made over by Espinal at third, who came in, subbed in from right. He's now at third. Makes the play on the deep pop fly put on by Felix. Brings up Justin George up next for the Mustangs. George hit by a pitch back in the 4th. Still hasn't came around to score. He's been held at first his last 2 at-bats. And a quick out for Turpin. First pitch swinging is George, and he's going to foul it off. Shallow first base side. George, massive pop in his bat, and we've seen some balls come off that have really trailed that warning track out in left field. If he gets a hold of something inside on Turpin, that he definitely possesses the power in BP to take balls really far here at Phil Welch. One delivery off the glove of Jeske and behind him for ball 1. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike to George. George, his college ball out of Liberty, Missouri, and William Jewell, originally from Queen Creek, Arizona. Probably been a first baseman so far this season for the Mustangs. 1-1 pitch and a drive put into center field. Smith doesn't have to move very far for the 2nd out. 2 pop outs for the Mustangs and 2 quick outs for Turpin here in the bottom of the 6th.
Good swing by George. Just to get all barrel on that one, but it was the pitch he wanted. And I mean, if you're Turpin, after giving up the lead last inning, it's a nice rebound to start. But can he put away the Mustangs? Because it was last inning with 2 outs. It's when he got hurt.
He's going to face Chris Coy. Coy 0 for 3 so far. He popped out to center field his last at-bat. Looking to go 1-2-3 the first time this game for the Merchants. His first pitch outside for ball 1. Like previously mentioned, looking to leave a 0 on the scoreboard for the first time since the 2nd inning, trying to quiet down these bats for the Mustangs. It's only 5 hits, but played at home 7. 1-0 pitch to Coy. In the zone for strike 1. Evens it out at 1 ball and 1 strike. Coy really young on this Mustangs team, but out there especially defensively. So mature with his footwork. And if you could get a chance to watch him, so he's going to give a check. Does not go for 2 balls and a strike. For any kids that like playing shortstop, I recommend watching Coy, as he is so fundamentally sound in his game when it comes to the defense, making smart throws and smart plays to get to balls anywhere in that infield. 2-1 pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Coy. Nice guy last night. Truman got him a emergency soda after the game. Came up to the booth asking where he could find a Starry, or just any type of soda. Just overall a really nice guy to be around. 2-2 pitch is swung on and just got under it once again. Eggers in left, and he makes the play. So 3 pop flies end the inning for the Mustangs. And we're headed to the 7th, and your Mustangs lead it 7-6. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the bottom 3 here on YouTube. Back inside, Phil Welch, 7-6. Your Mustangs lead it. It'll be the lefty Sammy Harris leading it off here for the Merchants this inning, and Truman super quiet. 6 runs back in the third,
Not
and that's
super
been
quiet. Oh, you're talking about the bats. Oh, sorry, Sorry, I had to just make that joke. Had to make the joke. Gotta liven it up in here, man. Gotta liven it up. Keep you on your toes.
I love it. I love
How
it.
dare you call me quiet? Maybe as a kid, maybe, but no, yeah. Definitely these Carroll bats. I mean, Lane Chapman has been phenomenal out of the bullpen. I mean, in the 4th, ran into some trouble back-to-back singles, but since then, I mean, only 2 hits and a walk entering his 4th inning of work. He has been phenomenal out of this bullpen, and it's just been so impressive to watch him work, and especially a guy who hadn't pitched in a while. And he's really picked up for Bronco Witt, who didn't have his strongest start, and he's just given the Mustangs life and momentum tonight.
He really is, and this bullpen has been doing that time and time again as Harris fouls it off on 0-2, keeping this at-bat alive time and time again. I mean, these Mustangs come in tough situations, not even tough situations, up by 10, up by 8, 8-0, and they just leave those donuts on the board for innings to come, and we've seen that here in this game, only 6 back in the 3rd, and that's been it. As Harris retired on the strikeout, that'll be a second for Mr. Chapman. First out in the inning via strikeout, and a perfect start for Chapman.
Again, it's like on a riding lawnmower, mowing a couple acres, just mowing these Carroll Merchants down. He had to be called upon after Bronco Witt's blade was a little dull, but his has been razor sharp.
Sure has. Sometimes you got to change that blade out. Surplus of blades in that bullpen. That ball's chopped over to Gundlefinger off the bat of Espinal. He is going to beat it out, and that's going to get thrown wild from Gundlefinger. That'll keep Espinal at first. It's a good job by Philippi and George to get on top of that over there. But an E5 will plate Espinal.
It's a tough play. I mean, George did everything he could to stretch that out. I think Espinal might have been safe regardless, but, I mean, Gundy deep in the hole, had to make a strong throw. I mean, if you're going to give your first baseman a throw on a hop, you'd like it to be a long hop. You wouldn't want it to be a short hop. George did everything in his power. I mean, he started glove in the dirt, worked up, but just couldn't snag it.
Nice play off the hop. Like you mentioned, a tough throw all the way from 3rd to 1st, but only 1 out, tying runner on first for the Merchants. It brings up Aiden Eggers, takes the first pitch outside for strike 1, and Chapman double play would be the most ideal thing right now, keeping it low in the zone for Eggers. As Eggers popped it out to Gundlefinger back in the 5th. 0-1 pitch. Just misses the inside half for ball 1, evens it out at a ball and a strike. Still 1 out in the inning. Merchants looking to tie this one up. Espinal, a decent lead over at first. He'll stay put, swinging and fouling it off. Is Eggers for the second strike in this at-bat. Looking to see here if Chapman wants to catch Eggers off guard on that off speed on that outer half once again. He's been given those types of pitches in these types of situations. Keep him guessing. 1-2 pitch down low. Espinal's going to take off for second off of the passed ball. And that'll put a 1 out runner in scoring position, and now the tying runner in scoring position for the Merchants.
That was just tough right there by Philippi. I mean, that one just kicks off his left shin guard. Had his legs stuck out, just couldn't turn his body to keep that one in front of him. And that's one, I mean, Chapman wants back. Needs to just buckle down and get Eggers right here.
2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and a big strikeout for Chapman. And now 2 outs on the board. Second strikeout in the inning, and Espinal still trailing at second with 2 outs.
Again, just a great pitch. Responds after the wild pitch, drops in a breaker. That ball just has so much drop on it. I mean, Eggers, there was nothing he could do. He'd need an illegal barrel size to hit that one. Just couldn't time it up, and Chapman's so deceptive. Fastball, curveball, same out of the hand. And they both go their separate ways once they reach the plate.
2 outs brings up Martin Smith, who runs inside. Almost clips him, but ball 1. Gonna need a torpedo bat to hit one of those. Smith so far popped out to George back in the 5th. RBI single back in the 3rd. Catching the inside half is Chapman for strike 1. Evens it out a ball and a strike. Espinal, not the fastest in the world, but the long, lengthy legs from him can definitely get around the bases fast if Smith can put it deep enough into the outfield. 2 outs. Merchants looking to tie this one up at 7 runs apiece. Chapman on 1-1, swing and a miss. He fouled it off, so a foul tip, but nonetheless 2 strikes on Martin Smith. And a big 1-2 count coming up for Chapman.
Again, just another breaker. Smith way out in front. Be interested to see. I'd go with the fastball now. Now that you got Smith thinking about that breaker and waiting back, I think you blow the heater by him. If that doesn't work, I mean, you just go back to old reliable in that curveball.
1-2 pitch. Just misses on the inside half near the legs of Smith. Evens it back up once again. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Was that fastball inside? I think you go back to the breaker now. Or, I mean, just go fastball again. But I think you go back breaker. It's been your out pitch.
There goes Espinal to third. Throw down from Philippi is going to be not in time. And Espinal steals third on a close play. Good throw from Philippi to Gundelfinger. Not in time.
Throw little into foul territory, but not by much. And I'm not sure where that pitch missed. It was a real good pitch there from Chapman, but I mean, now you don't need to worry about Espinal. You just buckle down and you get Smith right here, right now. You don't walk him and risk Jeske coming up.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner 90 feet away for the Merchants. Swung on and lined into left field. That's going to be fair, and we are tied once again. Now it's 7 and an RBI single. Once again, second time tonight for Martin Smith.
It was a good pitch, just better hitting. One of those good defense, better offenses. In on the hands on Smith, but he's able to turn on it and tie this game up, and now we got a brand new ball game.
First run of the night for the first time since the 3rd inning for these Merchants, and they've been itching to get another one on this bullpen, and Chapman gives up his first. Still 2 outs, just looking to get out of this inning tied. So you just go back to 0-0 for the next 3 innings of this game as the first pitch to Jeske misses inside for ball 1. Definitely the closest game that we've definitely gotten to call this season, Truman, as far here at Phil Welch. And a competitive game all the way through. Second pitch strike on the outside half to Jeske. Merchants down in the bottom half of the Mink, making some noise here at Phil Welch of game 3 of this homestand. Ball and a strike to Jeske. He swings and misses for strike 2. Now Chapman's got him down a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
That's where he had Smith. She needs to get Jeske.
Chapman gives a look over to Smith, but he's focused on Jeske. The 1-2 pitch, there goes Smith. Throw down from Philippi, looks good on line. And he'll be safe at second with another stolen base on the inning for the Merchants. And another runner in scoring position, so Jeske has a chance for an RBI.
It's been a tough night for Philippi throwing out base runners again. The throw is just tailing to the first base side. He really hasn't gotten an on-line throw yet. Again, it was another throw. If that throw's on line, he's out, but it took Bonehausen running up and having to try to do a swipe tag.
2-2 pitch ripped on the third base line, foul. Count remains 2-2 on Jeske. Both sides even. On the Merchants haven't been able to really silence the Mustangs stolen bases. Just been a good night on the base paths for both these squads, setting themselves up here, Truman. And once again, 2-2 count. Jeske another chance for these Merchants. 2-2 pitch upstairs just misses, and we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
Same situation. You started to lose them. You haven't been able to find that third strike against these last 2 hitters. You need to find one right here.
Chapman looking to leave one stranded. Full count, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, and Chapman leaves. Smith stranded at 2 on the strikeout. His 3rd strikeout on the inning, but one does come around to score on the Martin Smith RBI single, and we are tied at 7. It's 7-7, and we're headed to the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Trivia night. Once again, trivia number 2. It is Nintendo Switch 2 giveaway night. We're continuing the Nintendo-styled questions. Which of these characters was first introduced in Mario Kart Wii? Funky Kong, Birdo, Dry Bones, or King Boo? Give some time to think about that. Drop your answers in the comments. Help each other out with this one. We'll come back in a little bit with the answer. And for the 3rd straight time, it'll be Jaden Little leading it off here. In the bottom of the 7th inning, we're tied at 7 apiece. And Little, the 7th hitter in the lineup. Bunch of 7s. Ball and a strike to Little to start it off. Mustangs hoping for lucky number 7 here. Trying to untie this game once again. Did it back in the 5th. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike to Little. Zach Turpin still out on the mound for the Merchants. Only 1 given up from him. Off-speed pitch, catches the zone for strike 2 on Little. Evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little in protect mode. Trying to put an early runner on once again for the Mustangs.
Nice spot by Turpin. Not much Little could have done with that pitch had he swung.
2-2 pitch. He is swinging there, and he'll foul it off, keeping the at-bat alive. Mustangs trimming tonight, disciplined as it comes with 2 strikes in that count. Really made it look easy working on these pitchers in 2 strike counts. Not many strikeouts so far. 2-2 pitch. That is going to run inside, almost clipping the backside of Little, but now the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Again, it seems like, Turpin, very shaky coming out right here, and you've seen it before when the Merchants have scored. You want to throw up a 0 after you score. That's what the Mustangs have been able to do, but so far, Carroll has yet to do that.
That's going to be grounded over to Oliver at second in time. And a close bang-bang play ends up in the Merchants' favor as Little grounds out for the first out to start the 7th.
That was a good job by Turpin. He wanted to stick his glove out and make that play, but he pulled it back knowing Oliver had a better play on it, as if Turpin hadn't been able to grab that, and that nicks off his glove. Little's probably safe with the leadoff and the go-ahead run on.
That'll bring up Easton Philippi. Philippi back in the 5th, drew a walk, stole second, and ended up scoring. After the 1-2-3 inning, he's looking to put a different type of answer on here in the 7th as he watches ball 1 outside. Philippi's first at-bat flew out to left field. He's found his way on base back-to-back innings in the 4th and 5th via hit by pitch and walk. He'll watch strike 1 inside.
Getting to that point in the game where it's basically both these teams are playing for one. I mean, the final third of the game, you're just trying to find base runners and get them over by any means necessary.
1-1 down in the dirt to Philippi. It's now 2 balls and a strike. And Truman, like we've been mentioning, Nintendo Switch giveaway night. We talked about Mario Kart. Is there any other Nintendo games that you can think of to the top of your head that's been some of your favorites growing up?
Never played.
Never played?
I mean, maybe Mario and Sonic, those games, but again,
gotcha.
More into sports games. That's why I
Yeah.
had a Wii, but then got a PlayStation 4. So never really been interested in the Nintendo world of video games.
That's okay. I'm a big sports gamer myself. My girlfriend's a big Nintendo girl, so she got me into Nintendo a little bit. 2-2 pitch to Philippi. He's going to foul it off once again. Keeps the at-bat alive. Hits the roof of the grandstand. Now remains 2-2. My favorite Mario character last couple of years has been Yoshi. I have a Yoshi plush, and I have a Yoshi neon sign in my room up at college. It's pretty cool looking, but Nintendo's definitely been growing on me a little bit more. So the 2-2 pitch to Philippi, runs inside. He puts the count full at 3-2. PlayStation guy, you got the PS5.
I upgraded for college football.
Good man. Good man, as I did too with my Xbox. I'm on the other side of the border with that. It's the full count pitch to Philippi, grounds it over to Oliver once again. That is going to get him on the hop, and Philippi reaches on the E4, extending life to the Mustangs this inning.
Sometimes good things just happen when you put the ball in play, and again, right there, these self-inflicted mistakes from Carroll. Will this one come back to bite them?
Philippi scampered his way around the bases, Truman, the last time, so you never know with a guy like him, as Gundolfinger's up next. Ended his little hit streak in this game back in the 5th. Lined out into right field. Looking for his 3rd hit and hoping to advance Philippi over with just an out. First pitch to Gundolfinger. Just off the zone. Misses for ball 1. Gundolfinger, like I mentioned earlier in the game, last time out against the Merchants, homered. Only the 2nd time and the only last time these Mustangs have homered, as there goes Philippi towards second. Jeski's throw is going to be wild, a little bit up high, and Philippi, yet another stolen base on his night. That'll be his 2nd.
Again, just another great jump. It was Philippi who scored the 7th run for St. Joe, and again, he's doing the same. Reaching and then stealing second and putting himself in scoring position.
A ball and a strike to Gundolfinger. Runner in scoring position, trying to untie it. Infield in. Looking to hold Philippi at second. 1-0 delivery chopped by Gundolfinger and fouls it off for the 2nd strike. So now a ball and 2 strikes. That infield in. Gundolfinger's just looking to put it a sharp line anywhere in that infield. Or a deep pop fly could advance Philippi to 3rd, but big spawn here, a ball and 2 strikes with just an out. Philippi dancing at second. That's going to get past Jeski, and Philippi's dancing pays off, getting in the head of Turpin a little bit. And now with just an out, a runner just 90 feet away, and to take the lead, just 90 feet away for the Mustangs.
It's what the Mustangs are best at. Creating chaos on the base paths, getting in the heads. I mean, they're playing 4D chess out here while the Merchants are playing checkers. They just it's like almost like a spider that you think is on you.
Yeah.
You just can't stop thinking about it, and that's what happens when a self-inflicted mistake turns into a base runner here for St. Joe.
Infield in for the Merchants. 2-2 to Gundolfinger. Outside, and we're full at 3-2.
And honestly, a walk, I mean, it's always one of those things. I mean, I think a walk is not necessarily the worst thing, but it's also, I mean, if you're trying to set up the double play, you've got 3 straight very fast guys in Bodenhausen, Miller, and Lukehart. So
Gundolfinger, a deep drive into center field. Smith gets under it. Philippi tags up. Smith's throw cut off, and Philippi scores on the RBI sacrifice fly. And the Mustangs regain the lead. They lead it 8-7 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Gundolfinger just did what he needed to do. Found any ways necessary to get that run home, and he's rewarded.
He better be. That was a really nice play. Infield was in. Doesn't matter. Just put it out into center field. And Philippi with that sneaky speed and easy scores. It was cut off by Lutheran at the mound. And it brings up Truman Bodenhausen with 2 outs, top half of the order. Trying to keep the line moving with 2 outs for these Mustangs as it is taking ball outside for ball 1 is Bodenhausen. RBI single back in the 5th inning. Stole second and advanced to third on a wild pitch. Bodenhausen will go around as it was called a strike, so a ball and a strike now on Bodenhausen with 2 outs. This top half really knows how to fly around these bases. Setting up good positions for that middle half. 1-1 pitch from Turpin. Just misses the inside part. Now 2 balls and a strike to Bodenhausen. Bodenhausen is as patient as they come. He's not going to really go after anything too bad. Unless he knows he needs to. 2-1 now to Bodenhausen. He's going to put a flare into right field. Giving chase to Los Santos, and he makes the tough grab in right field for the 3rd out. But the Mustangs once again untie it here. And they now lead it 8-7. A 1-run lead. Merchants aren't going anywhere. We're headed to the 8th inning. Can the Mustangs get some pitching going and close this one out? We'll be right back. You're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. It's fine. Unplug this and plugged it back in. Oh, there we go. Welcome back in with little technical difficulties, but we have it all figured out here on the stream. It's Andrew Clark 2-1. So he's going to go back, and that's going to get away from George at first. Going over to second is going to be Lutheran. Now 1 out. And the tying runner in scoring position for the Merchants. And it's Gavin Gonzalez at the plate.
Not honestly a big fan of the pickoff there. I mean, I understand you're trying to hold them on, but it's just, there's no reason to. If you're that scared, just step off or just do a pitch out. I mean, don't risk an unnecessary throw right there, especially, again, a Mustangs team, they don't really pick off. It's very surprising Clark goes with the pickoff there.
2-1 pitch from Clark. Down low, and now once again, 3-1, and Clark getting some trouble, letting these batters get in ahead, trying to avoid another walk given. Gonzalez, it's the top of the lineup, so you definitely don't want to give too many freebies. So you got the tying runner on second with an out. 3-1 pitch. He does not go around all the way, and that'll plate Gonzalez on the second walk of the inning issued by Clark. Now it's just an out, 2 runners on for the Merchants.
Same issues that plagued Clark in his last appearance. It's just his inability to throw anything but his fastball for a strike, but you don't want to do that. You know, if you're Johnny Coy, I mean, I think you got, if he walks this guy, I think it might be time to move on from Andrew Clark in this inning.
It could be. I mean, it's what bit him that last time, like you mentioned. Love Andrew Clark as a guy. You know, you just got to really watch out for the team at this point, and Phillippe's going to go down and talk. You don't want to load the bases with just an out, down 1 run. You got to get something going quick here. Inning double play is all that ideal for this infield. But not many balls have been hit in this infield so far this game, so you really got to play it well if you're Clark. You just got to go back to your fundamentals with pitching. Just throw strikes. Don't give anything too close, of course, but want to see if you can probably jam a hitter inside maybe with the inside fastball. Just an out here for the Merchants. Brings up Nolan Oliver. Off speed, and it finds it for strike 1. Another first pitch strike for Clark. Oliver last at bat, lined out to left. Singled back in the 4th. Walked back in the 3rd. Tying runner in scoring position at second. Lead runner over at first. A 1 pitch from Clark. Down in the zone and taken in the dirt for ball 1, so evens the count up at a ball and a strike. One pitch from Clark, off speed once again. That one just misses the zone. Ball 2. Oliver up in the count. 2 balls and a strike on Clark.
Big hole on the right side for Oliver. Again, you like to see him trying to jam him inside, get him to pull it to this left side. It'll be Bodenhausen covering second on any double play attempt.
Down in the dirt once again, and it is once again 3 balls and a strike to the Merchants. And Clark trying to avoid loading the bases with just an out. And trying to avoid the 3rd walk in the inning. "3-1 is upstairs and out, and now the bases are loaded for the Merchants on 3 walks on the inning, and Clark just trying to get himself out of it. But now the tying runner on 3rd, lead runner on 2nd, so now the Merchants have both in scoring position that they need. Brings up Sammy Harris.
Say it again, it was what bit Clark when he gave up 3 runs in his last outing. It was 3 walks and 1 big hit. Same exact scenarios brewing. 3 walks, just waiting for that hit. It's just
Don't know what's up. I mean, getting a little squeezed, but it's trying to be too cute. I mean, you want an essay. I mean, now you kind of got to pitch to contact, trying to get that double play or pitch for the strikeout, but then you risk the walk.
As it's Sammy Harris watching the first one down. Coach Matt coming out to give Andrew Clark a talk and see if we want to go into the bullpen or not. Just an out here in the 8th. But right here, if you are the Merchants, this is the type of hittings that you want. You want Harris on, Espinal on deck. He's had himself a day, a 3 RBI triple, a single, reach on the E5 as well. So both these hitters right here. Harris doesn't have any hits, but he definitely has that pop. And with Espinal on deck, this is the cake in the oven that's ready to come out for the Merchants, if this is what you want to call it. Is they'll stick with Clark with just an out. He's really only got 1 run left to give until they probably go to that bullpen, but he's trying to get himself out.
That same thing you could understand if he's getting hit around, but it's him. It's demons he's battling right now within himself. I mean, he's just got to block everything out. It's just him and Easton behind the dish. It's just got to be them. It's just try to block anything. I mean, now their bases are full. You don't got to worry about anyone stealing, and just get back to the basics.
Down in the dirt to Harris, and it's 2-0. Just got to get something to Philippi that'll give him a good frame job. Get at least a strike or 2 on the board. You can't lose another one via the walk. No room to put Harris. So a walk will plate home the tying run. 2-0 pitch. Inside, and now 3 balls and no strikes to Harris. And Clark continuing to dig that hole. Movement in the Mustangs bullpen. So a walk here likely might see a change. 3-0 pitch. Finds the outside for strike 1 and a big strike 1 for Andrew Clark.
Not out of the woods yet, but that's been the closest pitch this AB. And strikeout, I mean, is a great option. Ground ball double play. It's just anything but the walk.
3-1 swung on by Harris, put into right field. Little makes the grab. Coming and tagging is Lutheran, and he'll score, and we are tied at 8. And an RBI sacrifice fly off the bat of Harris gives the Merchants their 8th run, and we are tied 8-8. Both runners stay put at second and first, but a quality out from Harris.
He served one up, 3-1. Lucky that the wind just knocked that down, but at least it wasn't the walk. But again, now the game is tied, and again, it was the result of those 3 walks. I mean, credit to Clark. He was able to get the second out, but now he's got to get the 3rd out. He's not out of the total woods yet. You can see the clearing. Can he navigate to it?
The light is at the end of the tunnel, and tying this ball game is, though, not the worst thing that can happen. Lead runner in scoring position still at second in Gonzalez, and it's Fernando Espinal, who had that 3 RBI triple back in the 3rd. So a guy who definitely knows how to get some pop on the ball, batting 4th here in this lineup. 1-0 and a sharply lined ball into left field. Gonzalez going to be held at 3rd. And a nice throw in time made by Lucart, but 2-out single loads the bases once again for the Merchants. And it looking time to maybe go to that bullpen as it brings up Aiden Eggers.
Yeah, that's what Johnny Coy's going to do, and it's just unfortunate for Clark. Back-to-back bad outings, and he's got to figure it out. In these rest days, he's just got to figure it out. I mean, don't know what the issue is. I mean, again, maybe he's just trying to use too much of that changeup and still can't command it, but he's just a different Andrew Clark that we saw when he got a 3-inning save early in the season.
Definitely is, and we are tied at 8 runs apiece. We'll get a look at this pitcher when we come back for break, but Mustangs call to the bullpen, bases loaded with 2. We'll be right back as you're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Coming out of the bullpen for your Mustangs, replacing Andrew Clark, is going to be Gage Busby. Busby making his 5th appearance. Win-loss record of 0-1, 7 innings pitched, an ERA of 3.86. 9 strikeouts on his season, and an opponent batting average of .192. And Truman, a big spot here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tied at 8. Looking to keep it tied going into the bottom 8th. Hoping to get a lead and come out in the 9th and close it.
Last time Busby pitched was back on Sunday at Clarinda. Unfortunately took the loss in that one, but just 1 pitch away. Again, don't try to be too cute around the zone. Go right after these hitters. That's not what they're expecting. They're expecting you to lay back, be nonchalant. Go right after them.
That is lined in out for the 3rd out of the inning, and they are left loaded. And we are tied here at 8. So Busby gets the job done, gets the out that's needed. And we're headed to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 8 here on YouTube. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Phil Welch, tied at 8 apiece, and another pitching change for the Merchants. They go to the pen and they pick up left-handed pitcher Cade Ogden. Ogden, a man at Iowa Central Community College in Urbandale, Iowa. So far this season, only 0.2 innings pitched, just 1 hit, no earned runs, and just the 1 walk. So he hasn't had that much pitching time, Truman, but he is looking to shut down these hot Mustangs bats and keep this one tied.
But again, can they throw up a 0? They have yet to throw up a 0 after scoring runs. Don't know what the deal is, but he just needs to keep it tied. That's his job, and for the Mustangs, they just need to get back to what they've been doing.
Got to get those bats rolling, and it'll be Logan Miller to lead it off. And Miller drew a walk back in the 5th and stole over to 2nd. Looking to continue getting on base. Getting Logan Miller on base would be the most ideal thing. Getting that speed, maybe getting a stolen base. The most important thing is to wreak that havoc on the base paths like they've been doing here. Don't need to rely on the bats too much. Just need to get something started. Miller watches ball 1 upstairs. First pitch from Ogden. He's going to get a talking from Jeske. After the first pitch, Ogden was a little bit visibly upset with Jeske after the first pitch, so I'm wondering if they're going to talk it over about maybe a missed sign, maybe a missed pitch. Who knows? Anything could happen on that first pitch, and we just never know.
More than likely talking over the signs. Looks like Jeske might have been crossed up a little bit compared to what Ogden was reading. So don't have any of that pitch calm here in the Mink League. It's all back to finger between the legs. Good old-fashioned 1, 2, 3, 4 trash can signs.
1-0 to Miller after the talk from Jeske, looking to get back to it. It'll hit the outside part, late called strike one. Over at Iowa Central Community College this last spring, Ogden 7 appearances on 5 and 1 innings pitched, just 5 hits and 4 earned runs on 12 strikeouts. So a decent spring at Iowa Central Community College. Misses for ball 2 outside. It's now 2-1 to Miller. Miller looking to get on base quickly here for the Mustangs. Two 2-1 to Miller. Chopped foul. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Miller now down 2 strikes in this at bat to Ogden. Still's got the 2 balls to work with. He's got to be a little bit more patient up at the plate. Let Ogden do the work.
Miller's not a guy you want to put on. With his speed, he can easily swipe second in the blink of an eye. Especially, again, leadoff walk in late innings. Came around to bite Andrew Clark. Could come around to bite Ogden right here.
There it is, the 3rd ball issued to Miller. So now it's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Miller looking to get that first walk and first runner with no outs here for the Mustangs. 3-2 pitch is outside, and there goes Miller as he's issued on the walk. And the Mustangs with some big speed to lead off their bottom of the 8th.
Again, Miller just showing off his patience. 4 walks tonight. Unfortunately, probably won't get to extend his hit streak, but he's been so productive. And again, not a guy you want on. The speed he possesses, I fully expect maybe a pitch out here from Ogden, but then expect Miller going in the first 2-3 pitches.
Miller, a nice lead. Ogden's given him some looks. First pitch upstairs to Braden Lukehart for ball 1. Lukehart, 1 for 2 today. 2 RBI single back in the 4th and was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and scored. Hit by a pitch in the 1st as well. Flew out to center his last at bat. 1-0 to Lukehart. Miller staying put. Finds the zone for strike 1. Ogden being that lefty, it's a little bit tougher to read for Miller over at first.
You can go on first movement, but then it gives Ogden the chance to pick off, or you could do a bit of a delayed steal maybe.
There you go. Ogden kind of gave that deke going home, and Miller did a good job getting back to first. Count remains 1 ball and a strike to Lukehart. St. Joseph kid out of Missouri Southern. One's big swing from Lukehart. That one's into right field. Soto giving chase, and it died off the bat. And Miller will scamper back over to first. And that ball looked like it had potential, but it died in the air for the first out.
You know, I got a buddy who works in, like, testing air qualities of, like, hospitals and stuff. Maybe I could get him out here just see why the ball, I mean, not just clamoring for the Mustangs, but the Carroll has hit some balls hard too, and that ball, I mean, that ball looked like off the bat it was going off the wall. And
oh yeah,
I mean, I know Phil Welch here, it's one of the bigger stadiums, but man, it's just like that ball. I mean, maybe it just had, maybe I'm just wrong. What that ball wasn't anything to do with the air. That one just had a lot of top spin instead of back spin.
I agree. That ball looked crushed. Looking over, I mean, it looked like he probably put it over the wall, but it just dies in that air. And there goes Miller over to second throw. Not in time from Jeske. Another stolen base from Miller. That'll be his 2nd on the night. And now the Mustangs lead a runner in scoring position in Miller with that speed. And Felix up in the count.
Just like I said, the wrong guy to put on with a leadoff walk. Fortunate enough now that there was an out thrown in between him walking and stealing second, but still, it's, especially with the meat of this order coming up, thin ice Ogden is walking on.
Off, and that'll go off the glove of Jeske. Over to third goes Miller. And now just 90 feet away, the Mustangs lead runner is waiting. And Felix now up 2 balls and no strikes on Ogden. A big spot here in the bottom of the 8th with just an out.
Now that thin ice is cracking. Chaos, chaos, chaos is what the Mustangs create on the base paths. They find ways to manufacture runs. It's a stolen base. It's getting in your head that you might steal third, and then you spiking a pitch 48 feet. Really giving Jeski no chance to block it. I mean, he's been a warrior back there, but there have just been some that out of his control.
Out, and now Felix up 3 balls, no strikes. Jeski did a good job just getting a glove on it. Not allowing Miller an easy 90 feet. Infield in for the Merchants. But Felix, all he has to do is put one deep into the outfield to score Miller.
I'm not giving Felix anything to hit. I'd be very shocked. I mean, you just put him on George on deck, not the fastest guy. So double play possibility is definitely a big time thing. And there's the walks. Now you can push your middle back. Corners should still stay in though. But middle should be pushed back, play for the double play. And then obviously the corners, if they get it, and it's hard at them, right at them, they look the guy back to third, then you make your play. If you have to move a little bit, especially third base and Espinal, if he has to move to his left, he can just go 2.
So we are going to get a pitching change. Ogden is out. Adding someone new here to try and control the damage. Runners on the corners here for the Mustangs. Just an out, tied at 8. Justin George coming up to the plate, looking to untie this ball game, headed into the 9th. But we'll be right back. We'll announce the new pitcher for the Merchants. But this game's tied at 8 here in the 8th as you're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Fresh arm out of the bullpen for the Merchants. Just an out here in the bottom of the 8th. And the lead runner in Miller standing at third, and it's Justin George. And it's Jackson Gwynn out of the bullpen for the Merchants so far. This will be his 8th appearance. He has a 2-1 win-loss record, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs on 10 strikeouts, and a 6.43 ERA. A big spot for Gwynn. I mean, the pressure is all that is large. Middle of the lineup here for the Mustangs at 5. And Truman, a big spot for Justin George with 1 out.
Again, there are a lot of ways George can be productive. Really, he's got to avoid the strikeout, the infield pop-up, or I mean a hard ground ball at anyone. I mean, even like a light infield ground ball, not right back at the pitcher, probably scores this run. But again, Carroll, middle is back, playing for the double play. Corners are in, playing for the double play, but also in the event, it's grounded right at them to watch Miller back to third before making their play.
1-0 to Justin George from Queen Creek, Arizona, and William Jewell College in Liberty, Missouri. 1-0 upstairs, runs by the head. And that is going to hit George. That's just going to clip him. Gwynn can't believe it, and now the bases are loaded with just 1 out to the youngster, Chris Coy.
Again, if you're Gwynn, Still no reason to panic. This honestly might be an even better situation because now there's a force and in base, so those corners can now come home with it. Middle is still back, though, playing for their double play. It's a question, do you bring them in and just play for the force out at home? Since there is one out, you don't in this situation because you can play for the inning-ending double play.
Coy, a big swing and a miss. First pitch fastball from Gwynn, and like you said, a lot of defensive plays Truman for this Merchant team, but for Coy, all he's got to do, put a deep fly into the outfield, sharp liner up the middle, away from those corners. He's going to put a deep fly into center field. Coming in shallow is Smith. He's going to make the play. Here comes Miller at home. Throw in from Smith. Not in time, and the Mustangs take the lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
I mean, Chris Coy, the youngster, just being productive. And, I mean, Miller's speed, he gets sent on that. And, I mean, I think, honestly, Smith was a little surprised that Miller was going because he didn't immediately get the throw off. He was running in. I mean, that had everything right that you were going to gun down Miller or at least keep him at third, but he hesitated on the throw and, I mean, was not a good throw, and that's one of the reasons. He just hesitated. So great job again. Miller just getting in the head of Smith, who wasn't thinking the next play, thinking baseball. What am I going to do with him when it comes to me? Not just thinking, oh, it's not as deep of a fly ball as it could have been. This guy's not going to go. But for the Mustangs, heck of a job on the offensive side. They just, again, find ways to manufacture runs.
Finding ways is what they've been doing, Truman. What a job by Miller, just playing mind games with Smith in center field. The speed that Miller possesses, swipes it easily. Smith couldn't even have a chance at the plate. It's the first pitch to Jaden Little as he is also in a big spot. As he's going to put it down the right field line. That's going to get foul near the party deck area. Quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. Little in this situation just trying to give some cushion. At least another run cushion for these Mustangs going into the 9th. But Coy did his job.
Heck of a job Coy did. I mean, everything and anything you could have asked from him. And he did it. May not be the flashiest go-ahead hit in the book, but hey, gets the job done.
Jeske with a nice pick on the ball. Ball 1 to Little.
I've been really impressed with Jeske tonight. I mean,
yeah.
I said this a couple batters ago, but he's just been a warrior back there. I mean, there have been no pass balls on him tonight. Any of the balls that have gotten past him, there's really nothing he could have done. He's been absolutely phenomenal back there, and also called a great game.
And that is going to get off the glove of Jeske, and that'll move both runners up 90 feet. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Little. 2 runners in scoring position. I know we were just talking up Jeske there, but really that pitch is out.
That one's still not on him, though. That's a wild pitch. That's not a pass ball again. He's set up inside. That pitch is outside. I mean, to reach across your body, it's a tough thing to try and maybe kick your leg out. I mean, again, he did his best, but
oh yeah, nothing he could have done.
It's a big spot here for Little. He got to come through if you're Jaden Little.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Little, 2 in scoring position, and he watches it out for ball 3. We're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Little, a little bit of pressure here, trying to give some cushion for these Mustangs headed into the 9th inning. But Gwynn's got him at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looking to get out with just 1 allowed and leaving 2 on. 3-2 down in the dirt, and that'll put Little. And that'll be a balk. So here comes Felix. And there you go. A 2-run lead for the Mustangs issued by the balk. And that moves George over to third. And it's still a full count for Little.
Again, the self-inflicted mistakes come back to bite Carroll. Maybe while we're studying the atmosphere here at Phil Welch, we'll study opponent pitching and when their team scores, how they just are unable to put up zeros.
It really is crazy to think you can't come into Phil Welch with a comfortable lead at all. As Little gets walked on the full count, runners on the corners, still 2 outs, and it's Easton Philippi, the young gun, looking to make a big appearance here, trying to add to the lead. He's got 3 runs tonight. Leads the team, trying to at least get on base, continue the inning. But now 2 runs to breathe, Truman, for these Mustangs, and it really came out a way they didn't expect.
Came the Mustang way, though.
Down low, taking ball 1 is Philippi, kid out of Staley High School. Back in my hometown of North Kansas City, suburb of Kansas City, Missouri. Going to Wichita State, going to be a shocker next fall, next spring. But in the fall, he's going to Wichita State.
Well, they got plenty of scrimmages going on, so.
Oh, yeah. Inside pitch. Little's going to move up to second. And now 2 more runners in scoring position and another mound visit. For the Merchants, umpires giving the warning that, hey, 1 more. And Gwynn going to get a talking to as Phillippe's up 2 balls, no strikes with 2 runners now in scoring position.
It's just one of those things, the most Mustang way. 2025 Mustangs, I mean.
Yeah.
Starts with a walk. Miller steals second. He advances to third on a wild pitch. Then he gets drove home on a sac fly. And then they score another run on a balk. I mean, I think it's now like 4 or 5 runs we've seen this season score on balks. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that pitchers are worried about Mustang runners, I mean, that is like smiling 5 gold stars, a Michelin star for base running by St. Joe. So, you know, all you young kids, you ever come out to a game, you watch how these Mustangs run the bases because it's not just every one of them, it might just not just be stolen bases. It's the mind games. Yeah. It's that mental side of baseball. I mean, what was it, was it one of the yogiisms that baseball is 90% mental and the 10% physical?
Yep.
Or
it really is.
Yogi Berra, but base running is truly even more. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I always say that. I mean, yes, you have guys that have plenty of speed. Yes, but I feel like you also have guys that maybe don't have as good of speed. They just look like they're fast because they are able to manipulate base running to their own way.
2-0 Phillippe's going to line it up the middle. That's going to be gloved by Oliver, going over to first in time. And that'll leave Little and George on the base paths. But the Mustangs come home with 2 runs, and they now lead it 10-8, headed into the 9th inning, trying to close it out and trying for their 11th Mink League victory and win number 16 on the season. And it'll be Busby to close it out. We'll be back with the 9th inning. You're watching Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Welcome here into the 9th. And it'll be Martin Smith to greet him. It'll be Gage Busby trying to close it out after a 2-run bottom of the 8th inning for the Mustangs. They took the lead. Won by a sacrifice fly from Coy. Then a balk issued the comfortability run, the insurance run, some would call it. Now Busby trying to close it out after throwing the first pitch strike to Smith. Second pitch strike, and Busby quickly 0-2 on Smith, trying to get a quick first out and a comfortable out for the Mustangs here in the 9th.
Always want to get that leadoff out. It just takes the wind out of your opponent's sails. You've got a 2-run lead to work with, so if you're Busby, 1 run doesn't hurt you, so you can go right after these hitters.
Off speed, called strike 3 on the corner, and Busby gets the strikeout looking on Smith. And 1 out, 2 outs remaining for the Mustangs here in the ninth.
I mean, just froze him. Got his freeze ray out. I mean, a breaking ball just painted beautifully inside corner. And that's how you start the bottom of the ninth, top of the ninth.
Ninth inning as it is. 1 out for the Mustangs. It's Jeske, catcher who has made some plays behind the dish. We've been talking about him all night. His gameplay tonight should not go unnoticed, as he's put some good stops and has kept most of these runs for the Mustangs on base. But he's up to bat trying to continue life for the Merchants, as Busby's missed his last 2 pitches. 2 balls, no strikes to Jeske. Jeske, Iowa Central Community College, didn't play. It was his redshirt freshman year. So just trying to gain some experience this summer. 2-0 pitch. Upstairs quickly, 3 balls and no strikes to Jeske. So an early base runner here with 1 out. Definitely in the cards for the Merchants.
Be interesting to see if maybe they pinch run for Jeske if he gets on here.
3-0 pitch and a strike on the outside part of the plate for Busby. So 3 balls and a strike to Jeske, and now Busby can try and experiment a little bit here with his next couple of pitches if he can get Jeske to maybe swing at one foul or get another one in the zone. 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2 on the outside. Jeske didn't like it, but it is a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count here to Jeske. 1 out for the Mustangs. Full count is going to be off the dirt, and it'll put Jeske on with a 1-out walk. So now tying run comes to the plate for the Merchants.
Again, 1 run doesn't hurt you. It does bring the tying run up to the plate. But I think the least thing you're worried about if you're Busby is that home run ball. I mean, crazier things have happened, but not trying to announce or jinx it. But again, the walk doesn't hurt, but just get back within yourself. Again, go right after these guys. If you get a few hits, fine. It's when you start to walk guys, hit guys. That's when you start to get in real trouble, because that's messing with your mind, because you're like, why can't I throw strikes?
First pitch to Lutheran. What a off-speed pitch that finds the zone for strike 1.
More of that, please. I mean, that's just a hard breaking ball that these right-hand hitters want nothing to do with. I mean, we saw Smith get frozen, then Lutheran jumping out of the box. Maybe see lean on that a little more.
There it is once again, and he was leaning on it, just couldn't get a piece of it. That slider just trailed away from the bat. Now quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Lutheran.
Okay, another great pitch.
The 0-2 pitch to Lutheran. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning for Busby. And now just 1 out remains for the Mustangs here in the ninth.
3 straight breaking balls, 3 straight whiffs. I mean, if those fans down in those front seats, down in the box seating area, weren't already getting a breeze, I mean, they sure got 3 big gusts. Just the adjustment was not made, and I like to see if he does that same thing to Soto. Don't even show him the fastball. And if you are out of the zone, raise his eye level. Just keep hammering that breaking ball.
It'll be Soto. Watches the first one out for ball 1. Bells are ringing here at Phil Welch, as they always do with 2 outs in the ninth. Tying run is Soto at the plate. Busby trying to shut it down. Looking for win number 16 and Mink League victory number 11. The 1-0 pitch down to the dirt, and there goes over to second. It'll be Jeske. Takes a wide turn around second, and now runner in scoring position for the Merchants.
Again, doesn't hurt you, though.
Doesn't hurt.
That run can score. You have it with that insurance run on the balk. You have a run to give.
Yep.
So you let him even steal third, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about him. Like, You know, you'll see Bodenhausen maybe hold him on, but in my opinion, don't even try. It'll just get in your head. It's you and the batter, especially with just one out, just you and the batter.
And now Soto quickly up 3 balls and no strikes. Busby trying to avoid putting the tying run on base with Jeske.
He's missed a couple times with the breaking ball, and then he spiked the fastball. Again, just stay composed. Don't let this lineup turn over to the Merchants' best hitter in Gonzalez.
Finds a big strike 1 on a 3-0 count. Soto's got to be thinking here. On 3-1, runner on second. Busby. 2 outs, 3-1. Off the glove, and there goes Jeske over to third. Soto on first for the walk, and now runners on corners. Tying run on first for the Merchants, but still 2 outs. But here comes Gavin Gonzalez, team's top hitter in average, extra base hits, RBIs. But again, runner on third doesn't matter. It's that runner on first, Truman.
Yeah, Philippi, great job going out to talk to Busby. I think it's just to remind him that now he kind of has to worry about Soto at first. Got to keep him honest. I think it's also just one thing, talking through how they're going to pitch Gonzalez, because I mean, he's had a good night. He's worked a couple walks. He's seeing the zone really well. It's the first time he is seeing Busby. But just talking through what they see, I mean, I'd like to start inner half, try to jam him a little bit. Middle is playing up the middle. I'm kind of surprised they're playing double play depth. I understand playing for the force out, but you're giving up a lot of holes, and now Bodenhausen's moving over a little bit. But I'm pounding that inside corner and dropping that breaking ball on the outside.
Righty-lefty matchup on Gonzalez. Runners on the corner for the Merchants. First pitch, strike 1 from Busby, heater down the middle. Gonzalez, all he could do, just going to watch that one go by for strike 1. Like you said, that gap between third and short between Gundelfinger and Coy, I mean, if he can possibly get one on that outside, Truman, that could be dangerous, but nice first pitch for strike 1.
I think that's the only fastball I'm throwing him in. Fine. We'll see what happens, though.
There's that off speed, and it's going to miss just barely. For ball 1, now count evens up at a ball and a strike to Gonzalez.
I think if I'm going to throw him another fastball, it's going to be with 2 strikes in a 1-2 or 2-2 count to raise his eye level or get him to try and chase. Again, I'm just going to hammer that breaking ball, because so far no one in this inning has been able to hit that breaking ball.
Gonzalez is going to line it over to second. Bodenhausen flips it to Coy, and that ends it and leaves 2 on the base paths. And Busby shuts it down for the Mustangs. They win it 10-8 in dramatic fashion against the Carroll Merchants.
Heck of a pitching performance by Busby. He comes in for Andrew Clark with the bases loaded. Then he gets an out. Then he comes in here in the 9th. Couple of walks, tying run aboard, go-ahead run at the dish. He's just all cool, calm, and collective. Goes right after the Merchants' best hitter. I mean, this might be the most gutsy win for the Mustangs. They by no means played their best baseball. I mean, Witt shaky in the 3rd inning. Hitting was a little up and down, but I mean, at the end of the day, they got it done. And they just, again, found ways to do it. And they just continue to capitalize on opponents' mistakes. I mean, scoreboard, 8 runs, 9 hits for the Merchants, 3 errors, though. For the Mustangs, 10 runs, only 5 hits, and 2 errors. Less hits, but again, they just had more base runners. They worked walks. They got hit by pitches. They were causing chaos on the base paths. They forced a balk. It's just, I feel like, culminating what we've said collectively throughout this whole season about what Mustangs baseball is. It really just showcased that all the time. I mean, talking about when they scored those runs in the 7th and 8th, it was a 1-out error and then a stolen base, comes around to score on a sac fly. Then in the 8th, it was a walk and a stolen base, comes home on a sac fly. I mean, sometimes they don't even need to get hits. They'll just let their opponents self-combust in front of them.
It really is. I mean, the Mustangs continue to do it in any type of fashion, and such a just cutthroat game like this was the first time we've seen it, especially at home. I guess, you know, you go to Clarinda, you play a close game with them. But here at home, I mean, this is probably the most gutsy game we've seen from the Mustangs yet. I mean, you go down 6-0 back in the 3rd inning of play, but then you put up 3, and then from that point on, you just continue to chip. You continue to chip, put the base runners on, get the walks, get the hit by pitches, allow runners to steal. You wreak havoc on the base paths, and guess what? You make something out of nothing here tonight, and the Mustangs win it 10-8 in an impressive homestand as they go 3-0 here on this week's homestand. And they're looking to wreak some havoc as they, guess what? Right now they go play Carroll tonight, but they wake up tomorrow and they're heading on a bus to go up to Carroll.
May
to
as
go
well
play them.
carpool, honestly.
Might as well. You might as well.
Well, I mean, I don't think Carroll's head back down here, but, you know, you may as well, like, just attach both buses together and just create Megabus.
Megabus as they go up to Carroll. But Mustangs in an impressive victory. You know, the starting pitching, again, just hasn't been the strong suit the last couple of nights. But the bullpen comes in, does their job. Chapman only gives up one, but then Busby. Clark gets in a little jam. Busby comes in, shuts it down. Truman, an impressive homestand this week. Any final thoughts out of the whole homestand and going into the road trip?
I mean, they went 3-0, so I think the biggest number there is the 0, no losses. But just one of those things that headed back out, back on the road, just time to get back at it. There's no time for rest. I mean, you've got a shorter road trip, only 3 games, but you're seeing familiar teams with Carroll tomorrow night, Jeff City, who, again, you came back and beat last night. They're having some hard feelings, and then you're at Chillicothe for 2 before you're back home. So I think it's, again, just continue to play well. The bullpen has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, there was a point a little bit these past couple weeks where it's been more starting pitching has been dominant, bullpen struggle a little bit, but now you're seeing the bullpen really pick up these guys.
As it is Saturday Night Fireworks here, just like the homestand. Mustangs put up fireworks tonight. They win it 10-8. 3-game road series. We're back next Wednesday for the St. Joe All-Stars game at 6:30. But for another homestand at home with us on YouTube, I've been Jackson Phelps. Join next to me, Truman Griesel. And be sure to go check out our YouTube this week for more content if you liked what you saw tonight. We're always posting, giving you guys the Mustangs experience with us. But Mustangs win it 10-8.